Anyway, Sha, you just have to show people the way.
Have to show people the way.
Yeah.
What's the way, bro?
You see. You see when I show it.
Alright, what do I do? What am I missing here, bro?
Don't worry, man. Time will reveal all things. Everything is jiggy in the hood. But it's all about seeing the future. I've been watching Matrix 1, 2, and 3.
I get the feeling. Something must have happened. You must
Well,
be...
not, bro, to be fair, I only watched it on the weekend, but I've
must
been in this cocoon for a minute now. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's in the cocoon, yeah.
So once you come out, it's butterfly season.
Okay.
Yeah. It's time to level up, bro. It's time to level up. When you level up, you make the noise. It's time to level up.
Okay. This is hella cryptic for the start of a podcast, by the way.
It has to be. You can't, what's the word? I just believe it's a time to be seen and it's a time to be quiet.
I agree.
And then, in that quiet place it's a beautiful place to be. The time Moses spent in the wilderness is where he found himself. It's a good place. It's a good time to go to the wilderness.
Bro, Jesus went into the wilderness
to pray, bro.
Yeah. It's like that wilderness period is very, very important. 100%.
It's like looking under your bed.
Don't you feel though like this whole past year with the pandemic and everything's been the right opportunity to kind of lay low, hibernate, do the wilderness thing?
People just, the truth is this, pandemic gave us all time to do remarkable things, but we're still creatures of habit. We're still the flawed human beings we are. Yeah. So everybody had a book to write, but nobody wrote a book.
Everybody had stuff during the pandemic.
Of course, but it wasn't the time for it. The time for it is always now. So whether there's a pandemic or not,
that sounded deep, but at the same time, it made no sense because in the middle of the pandemic, if you were in the middle of the pandemic, then the time would have been now. Then
before the pandemic, the time was then. Before the pandemic, I wrote a joke saying the pandemic taught us a lot of positive things. Like, as soon as that pandemic, you said to yourself, I should have been saving. I should have thought about that,
I mean, it definitely put a lot of stuff into perspective.
Right,
yeah.
Put a lot of things into perspective. Because if someone said to you, you don't know tomorrow, we might get hit by a pandemic, we can't go to work and have to shut down the whole country. Nigga, please, ball out!
I was going to be so extreme, bro.
And bro, man's always going, that's a hypothetical, though. That's a hypothetical. You'd hype that until it hit, and then you're like, whoa. And so that puts things into perspective. But what I mean is the time is always now. There's no time like the present.
Yeah.
The thing is this, we spend most of our time doubting ourselves, creating a reason not to do what we're supposed to do, then create enough distraction so it's not really bothering you.
But I mean, I'm saying there was a unique opportunity in this pandemic. Like in this pandemic, some of the things I was able to do, I would not have been able to do if we didn't have the pandemic. Like,
no, it's not even able to do it. You wouldn't have done it. You would have been able to do it. You just wouldn't have done it. You could have done anything you want to do. It's just if you could do it. The pandemic just gave you the pandemic left you with no choice.
Okay, so
not much of a choice, I guess.
When they made me redundant because of tightening the belt because of the pandemic, and I got a payout and I used that to clear a whole bunch of debts.
Yeah.
Is that something I could have done if there was no pandemic?
But you wouldn't have run that because you'd be working, so you'd still be paying off your debt anyway.
Yeah, but I mean to be free of it now. Completely.
Okay, fair enough. But what I'm saying is you could still be paying off your debt. It's not like the pandemic created an opportunity for you to clear debt. Even though it did, what I'm saying is we all have the opportunity to do what we want to do. It's just whether you're going to do it or not. So what I'm saying is the pandemic didn't say, oh, it created opportunity for me to now start writing more. I always had the opportunity to write more. It's just if I chose to do it or not.
I feel like we're going to end up arguing over something that's
because
seemingly very obvious to me. But
I understand what you're saying. The pandemic stopped everything.
Yeah, I'm saying it provides a unique opportunity. We have a certain level of opportunity every day of our lives. But certain moments provide you with a unique opportunity.
Does it provide you opportunity or does it provide you with a unique clarity, a unique, a new thought process to change to what you would circumstances create? Because pandemic is a circumstance.
Yeah.
And through, an adversity, character shows.
Yeah.
So it's another punch that made us choose a different character.
I think that's part of it. I think part of it is what it made us do to our heads. I think that's what I mean in
terms of...
But I think that it presented unique opportunities. Like some people finally had an opportunity to start a certain business that they would not have been able to start if they had a commute, for example. Or certain people had a chance to pay certain things off, or like even the way that people took the advantage of the loans that were being put out. What I'm saying? People saw an opportunity and they used the opportunity. That most people wouldn't have got a 50k loan with no credit checks just like that. But
that's not a good thing.
I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm
That's
saying
not
there's
a
an
good thing.
opportunity there. Though.
Motherfuckers took advantage of the opportunity.
Of
But what
course.
I'm saying is,
Of course.
bar the pandemic, those things were always there for us. Not necessarily the 50K just to start a business like that, or even the money you saved on the commute. And it's interesting. Most people I spoke to that save money on the commute spent it on other things like new iPads for the kids and shit like that. But my point is, even new trainers, people were shopping hard on the pandemic.
Bro. Shush.
But what I'm saying is,
right
I get what
ain't
you're
even opened
saying,
all of
where
them.
it forced us. For instance, the lack of comedy forced me to want to write more.
Yes.
But I've always wanted to write, and I always had the time for it.
Yeah, but I mean, there's something to be said for if you look back at your life and you say, look, I was mismanaging my resources anyway. But let's say, for example,
the pandemic put them in check.
Let's say you were forever on tour.
Yes.
Right? So you were so busy, you didn't get a chance to sit down and do and focus on something, right? Like writing a script.
Okay.
And then because of the pandemic, your tour was cancelled, and now you focus to write. It wouldn't be a case of you always had a chance to write it would afford you an opportunity.
Right. Okay. But that's the thing, though, because I would have a chance to write it. It's just when I choose to delegate that moment. Whereas the pandemic gave me no choice but to say, well, you know what? Ain't nobody touring right now. I can write the script. Because I believe everything that was in me through the pandemic was in there before.
Okay.
But the pandemic gave me the perspective of, imagine if comedy wasn't there.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, it was in us before. Everything that I did in terms of the Sunday sermon podcast and so on, it was somewhere in me.
I guess the pandemic gave you that consistency, though, innit? Because there was nothing else you were doing.
This is partly it. Like I took the time to do like the filmmaking course that I did and learn how to use the camera properly. Like all the stuff that we shot during that time was only
I guess that
because I had
it
all
was
that
a
time.
unique moment in terms of nobody's doing nothing.
Yeah, and so I didn't feel bad about like not socializing, not meeting people's things, not I wasn't traveling to places, spending time in the house, spending time on the computer, working. When I got made redundant, I had all this time to basically decide what I want to do. Where I was figuring out like, I did the filmmaking course and so on, and I wanted to like work on creating the good content and so on, and buying all this equipment. I had access to funds that I didn't have before.
The maddest thing though, for me, the pandemic highlighted because it took.
I did articulation coaching for a while
because it took so much. But why have you stopped though?
To be honest, bro, I had too many things going.
Pandemic gave you too many opportunities.
Too many opportunities. I had to narrow it down because
I was skydiving. I was learning Latin
stuff
I was
with
doing
you.
salsa.
I was doing Sunday sermon. I started making content for this sister that does wine content, and then I got a job again. And then I was also trying to
spreading yourself thin,
bro. This is it. So it was getting to a point where, and then we also got pregnant as well. So it was like,
who's we? You didn't get pregnant,
bro. You know how I mean that, bro.
The missus got pregnant.
Yes, the missus got pregnant.
So you were having sex during the pandemic?
Yeah, of course.
So
bro.
sex was added to the stress of the whole.
No,
I had to keep up the sex.
Nah, bro, I had to keep it. Nah, come on, man. Come on. Look, if you were locked up with somebody
in the lockdown,
would you telling me you wouldn't have a baby?
Was lockdown
brother?
sex different from like? Oh, this is interesting because, like you said, the pandemic created an opportunity. For us to do things we'd not done before.
100%.
Did the sex life go up or did it go down?
Oh, that's a very interesting question.
That's a very interesting question.
It went down and then skyrocketed.
So let's pause for a second. Why do you think it went down first?
Because one of the main opportunities it gave us was a chance to resolve a lot of unresolved issues in our marriage.
Damn.
We had...
So by that time, you needed the sex. By the time that was done, you needed to get one off.
Well, no, it was what was stopping and ruining our sex life.
That's beautiful.
So
you know what?
So and it wasn't just
right.
us as well.
You're actually right. The pandemic created unique opportunities.
Every married couple I
down
knew
and
was
have
doing
a convo, bro.
Yeah, every married couple I knew was doing marriage courses.
Mad.
In fact, there's a church called Holy Trinity Brompton. They put out a marriage course. They had a marriage course, and so many people were using it. They decided to stop charging. They just said everybody use it for free during this pandemic.
That's really good for from the church, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Normally the church, it's all about the bread, but I respect that.
But it's a good church, man.
Oh, so Nigerians would increase the price.
They would have put the price up. What do you mean?
They don't put the price up. But to be fair, most Nigerians would be skeptical about using them. I wouldn't use a Redeem Vibe marriage course. I just wouldn't. I respect the GO and everything, but it just doesn't look like the guy that will be on my wavelength. In terms of what I need for my marriage.
I know what you mean,
I want the
bro.
Creflo type pastors. I want them shady looking pastors. I'll tell you the real.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
Wow.
But, bro,
So after you resolved the issues, there was a comfort there then.
I
mean the issues must have got resolved because for you to get some after that, she must have been really happy. Because women need to figure out the issue line by line.
yeah, and to be honest, it didn't mean that it was just like one stretch and so on. It started an ongoing process. I'm talking about issues that have been fixed and got, better in stages since then. No, it's not like we just completed it now, but things are definitely way better than they were back then. What I know is and you would have heard this if you were listening to Sunday Sermon when I was doing that podcast. I realized I really had to get a grip on this whole porn thing, for example. Okay. That was really gonna be pivotal in me starting to renew how I look at my marriage. So
I don't understand how you can watch porn and be married. I didn't get it, but go ahead. I thought it was a single man's game.
Bro, you'd be surprised, man.
Do you watch Wives? No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Bro, I did.
No, allow me. I'm not getting into that. I'm not getting into that.
I did.
I'm not going.
We're not getting into genres right now.
I'm not going into genres.
I tell you that because you asked.
Bro.
Yeah, I did.
Mad.
And do you know what it is?
The honesty is
at
levels,
the time
though.
I did this whole episode about how I found the secret key towards sort of getting some of your goals, and it was
I
accountability.
thought you meant to like a porn website I didn't know about. I was about to say, you send that afterwards, bro. You got a secret key, nigga?
Yeah, you have to type HTTP /
The pop-ups on porn sites need to stop, man. I need to have a word with somebody, okay?
Bro,
just the most random.
Have you ever gone to
I said no one ever clicked on them.
Nah, bro. I mean, someone must be.
Someone must be.
Someone must
be.
be.
Do you really believe you can enlarge your penis by just taking these pills?
Do you really believe there are Russian MILFs in your area, bro? Come on, bro. I'm sure there's dudes in Nigeria get that pop up and
my
Russian MILFs in my area. Where are these Russian MILFs?
Isn't there a level of paranoia? There's Russian MILFs in your area for real?
Bro, I'll be thinking, how do you know where I live?
Blood, how do you know where I live though? So I was just like, these pop-ups need to change, man.
Yeah,
and
but
these advertisements people will need.
I've grown up with these pop-ups. You have to understand, me and these pop-ups, we know each other, we spun each other on the way up.
Are you at the level you're like, man, pop-ups used to be respectful. They used to have the little, intros where they had the little commercial. Now it's just...
They just throw it up.
Pop up.
You just go pop up?
Innit? It's just
They're shameful.
I told you, the funniest thing I saw was when I saw Black Lives Matter on the banner. I just thought, come on. You can't escape this.
You have to explain that properly because people don't even know what you mean, bro.
You know, on the Pornhub, you click on the profile.
Yeah.
You see her name in that. And she had Black Lives Matter. This ain't even right.
Bruh.
I thought the civil rights movement, the marching. I said, yeah. I'm going to read the Bible right now. I'm going to read the Bible. But okay, that's
anyway, that was one of the. I took that time to work on that, and one of the things.
Shame on some people who try and drag you back in the mud.
Exactly.
I'm not going to say any names on the
podcast. Shame on y'all trying to disrupt my progress.
Sending in them OnlyFans groups into the
sending all them OnlyFans links
into the safe space. No, you should just go to me directly. But that's not the point.
Do you know what that is? That's the equivalent of you hang out with a crackhead and he's about to go, so you just slip some crack in his pocket. And he walks off and he's like, hey, you guys, why'd you put crack in my pocket? He's like, ha, 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 bad, and he's just sitting there and he's fine right now. But there's that one day he's going to be weak and he's like, I've got that crack in my pocket as well. Bro, it just provides the opportunity.
I think you took it to a level it didn't need to go to.
No, that's exactly how it was, bro. That's exactly it. No, because the thing about WhatsApp is no one's screening the messages that come in.
To be fair.
So if you send me a bunch of stuff, I don't even get a chance to see what it is until I've seen it.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? And if that's enough to trigger me, then
plus,
I'm back
in the lockdown, all those OnlyFans have been hacked. It's like porn is free on the internet. Come on, guys.
But you know what it is? It's that
because we got the hacked version.
Yeah, it's that cachet of
we broke in.
We broke in. This is that Fort Knox. It's that Fort Knox right here.
This is that vault porn.
This is that Area 51 porn right here. The government don't want you to know about this.
You know that safety deposit box with no number.
Oh.
And you know the worst thing? It's not even great,
bro.
It's just okay. I could have Googled this.
But that goes to show you how much of what it is going on in our heads. We place so much value on
what we can't have.
This is it.
And that's why I said if they want to ban I was thinking if they want to stop. I think they said. I think I said knife crime.
Yeah.
No, I said they should make school illegal for kids
Why?
because they'll be desperate to go.
I mean, bro, look at countries where.
I said you having kids in the basement. I just want to go to school, scratching. I just want to read a book. Like,
Bro,
just
look
make
at
it
countries
illegal.
where kids can't get to go to school.
Well,
They
make
they
it
go
legal,
they
though.
go out. No, but they go out and work and pay their school fees.
I
bro.
know, man.
That's kids that are
Because
trying
they
to
believe
hustle
this
for a way.
But there's a good thing in that though. But there is that thing about the forbidden fruit.
Of course,
It
bro.
just flipping. Not even trying to equate it to that, but it just goes back to that.
Think
forbidden
about it this
fruit.
way, though. Think about it this way. You meet like a really pretty girl. She's working at Tesco's, just somewhere non-sexual or anything like that, right? And you're for some reason she likes you. She slips you her number as you're paying for your goods. You guys get to talking, and she's like, "Do you know what? Like I was about to send you nudes, but I kind of get the sense that internet porn is free anyway. So why do you need my nudes? Would you be like, yeah, that's right, I got plenty of internet porn, or would you be like, I want your nudes, you specifically, I want yours?
I mean, for me, you know, my mind works very different.
Okay.
I'm just wondering, like, why was she about to send me nudes though? Like we just
No, like
met
you get talking, you've been talking, you start to like each
over
other.
the days.
Yeah, a couple
Okay.
days, like you know what I'm saying, like you kind of feel each other's
Here's the
flirty,
thing.
like
Here's
that
the
kind
thing.
of thing.
My argument, because the way I'm an argumentative person,
Mm-hmm.
is not necessarily whether I want her nudes or not. Porn being free and your nudes are two different things.
That's the point I was trying to say. So it's the same with OnlyFans.
Right.
It's the same with OnlyFans. It becomes the thing that OnlyFans does is it makes you focus on one woman and go, you specifically, I want to see you naked. And that's the reason why all these sort of like B-list, C-list celebrities go, oh, I'm opening up an OnlyFans. Because now the cachet is, I want to see that specific girl. It's not that there's like a poverty of nudity out there. It's more about, I want you to see yours specifically.
So is it the same thing when they say, okay? I mean, it's like
It's the
you
same
said.
with celeb hacks, and it's just all the same concept. You
But
know what?
it's the same with most things.
Yeah,
Like cigarettes,
yeah.
or cocaine and drugs. I said if you want to, I think I said make drugs legal because if the appeal is that they're illegal, that's the actual appeal.
For a lot of people, yeah,
That's what sells it.
yeah.
And you don't need to advertise cocaine, but they still tell you it's $400 million industry. And you're like, how?
Bruh, because it's not a repeat customers. Put it
Right. And there's no regulations.
Yeah.
There's no, you're not taxing this stuff.
Yeah,
Not in the legal way anyway.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers is getting taxed, but in a different way.
yeah.
And so the appeal is that. And so
The only reason why they can't make it legal though is because it sends a message that it's okay.
but it is okay. The argument with drugs is it's not that it's bad. That's not their argument. It's they can't make the most money from it.
Well,
Because if it was bad, they would stop it.
if that was the problem, they would simply legalize it.
No, but they make more money with it being illegal. There's more money being illegal than it being legal.
What, for the powers that be?
Yeah. You think cocaine comes to this country and no lords and no MPs know about it? Of course, it's catered for.
Of course,
It's
but
allowed through the country. It's
think
allowed
it's
through the
just-
coast guards and stuff like that.
I do think so, but I think it's just a case of what can be done. Basically, what can be done on stage and what's done backstage. Cocaine is a backstage thing because if you do it on stage, there's a certain amount of credibility you give it. Then you don't really have a moral high ground to speak to kids or speak to young and impressionable people. Because it's like if it's legal, then it should be
But
okay.
people are taking cocaine every single day and functioning high levels.
Exactly, but that's just because that allows authorities to maintain a moral high ground or claiming at least that they care about you. They can't
Yes.
claim to care about you if they do that. That's why they have to sponsor all of these like stop
But
smoking.
then they allow smoke.
And
But they allow cigarettes though.
I know, but they have to maintain a face of like.
So then put
we're
down cocaine.
against it.
Cocaine is we're against cocaine, but here's a rock. We're against cocaine, but hey, rock it out, baby.
I mean, to be honest, if it ever did come out, they'd probably still have to use some of the profits to fund these fake campaigns about
Yeah.
like don't take cocaine, guys. But then
Yeah.
they'll be taxing it
Yeah.
and making lots of revenue.
Because
on it.
cigarette packets, like these are your lungs,
Yeah.
burnt out. You're like, give me 4 of those.
Give me 4 emphysemias.
Give me the
one,
with
you know that one with the lung cancer on it?
You see the one with the baby on fire? Yeah, let me get that. I want to see that. That must be some good tobacco. If you can set a baby on fire, I want to smoke that.
Yeah.
And even with weed, for instance, if you ever been to Amsterdam, well, you have been to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And weed is not, it's almost like going to Starbucks.
Yeah.
You didn't see people, say, I want to suck your dick outside. And
Yeah, but weed's a different one, though. I think
But it's
weed's
still
just like
illegal.
It is still illegal, and to be honest, most places are starting to legalize it anyway.
Yes.
That one I think was purely about money.
Yes.
But I think when you get to
cocaine's
like,
about money too, though.
I think when it gets to cocaine, heroin, all those sort of
Heroin's
class A
different.
ones, I think those ones they kind of have to like at least appear to be against.
But here's the thing, though: cocaine grows in Peru and all those places in the high altitudes.
Coca leaves.
Coca leaves, sorry.
Yeah.
Coca leaves.
Yeah.
And they used to use it to keep
Yes.
them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, of course.
Yeah, but you can't be purified.
One second. Of course, the explorers,
Of course.
the explorers of the new world.
Yes.
By the way, I don't even know when cocaine started.
Yeah.
So I don't even know but I do know the backstory of how it came to fruition.
Yeah.
Obviously, they explore it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Human beings are curious people.
Yeah.
We're remarkable people.
Of course.
For good and bad.
Yes.
We are remarkable people.
100%.
If someone tells you how they
agree.
robbed a bank and escaped with 20 million,
Yeah.
your first thought is not thinking you thief. You're thinking, God damn.
I know. I want
How
to find
did you
out
do
how
that?
to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they were curious people. So we find a way to make the rock cocaine. Right? They were smoking it at first.
Yeah.
It was too addictive. Too addictive. People were ready to go to war because they needed another. So they were exploring because they were going to take it to America. Initially, it was a rich drug.
Yeah.
And they said there's no worry about this drug because poor people won't be able to afford it.
Yeah.
So it was, something kept between the rich people.
Yeah.
And then the war on Nicaragua and stuff like that happened.
Yeah.
And that's when, cocaine and crack became for the ghetto. And that's when you have an epidemic.
Yeah.
And that's when you have the problem.
That's when they started making crack cocaine.
Crack cocaine, which is way more addictive.
Yeah.
I don't know who started that recipe.
That's what I said.
But he should be
Put
arrested.
a little baking soda in there. Stir that out real quick.
But Chris Rock did a joke and was like, like crack destroyed, like the ghetto was so good and crack just sucked it all away. Yeah, it was good and crack did suck it all away. That's facts.
Not 100%.
100%. Those
The
areas.
ghetto was
Hold
not
on.
good.
No, listen.
Yeah.
That area was actually populated by white people
Which one?
before.
specific?
LA.
Okay.
That's why you have those houses, those nice lawns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now you see the hood and you're like Craig's house. You're like, that's a nice little house. Why you drop the grass in this motherfucker? You know what I mean?
There was definitely white flight.
There was white, so they left because black people moved in.
Yeah.
And initially they were Panthers. There was hustling going on. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
But they were educators. If
Okay.
you watch Snowfall,
Yeah.
So their MO before was just little reefer.
Yeah.
But they were revolutionary and then after the revolutionary was destroyed, you look at those people in jail. You have crack, and it just destroyed everything.
Yeah. But I mean, crack wasn't just even in LA. It was across the whole country.
It started in LA though. West Side.
Yeah, I mean, but that's
No,
because...
you gotta give homage. No, I'm joking.
No, but you see, when the deal was done with Rick Ross, with Freeway Rick Ross, giving him free passage, to hoods across America was very, very, very targeted. He wasn't wandering into flipping Beverly Hills and whatnot.
Where he would make a profit, by the way.
This is it. So essentially, the whole point was that, the way that whole situation was carried out is exactly why governments are very wary about how they interact with drugs right now.
But they allowed it though.
They allowed it because they needed to fund the Iran war.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that
Nicaragua war.
no, they used
the crack cocaine was used for the Nicaragua they tried to, but
the
they were raising money for the
Nicaraguans were using it to raise
They
money.
raised money for for NAM.
Yeah,
It
but
was for NAM. They were using the money for NAM.
no, it was.
Yeah, they used the money for NAM, man. Yeah, man. They used for NAM. They used the
I thought
money.
it was the Iran Contra affair. They were using the Contras to raise.
They were funding a lot of wars.
To be fair, they were funding a lot of wars, right? So they do this.
The resistance. They were going to Nicaragua to overthrow. So they were winning, but then America intervened and told because the Jews were going to help. Israel was going to help.
Yeah,
and they told Israel to go back. And so
Israel fullback magic.
And Israel fell back, and then the president, who was the dictator, fled to Argentina, and one military guy who was on it from the country, one of the people that was trying to get him, found him in Argentina and blew up his convoy with a rocket launcher.
Nuts,
bruv. When I say when I say it's real in the field, bro, it's real in the field. Bro. Hey, these guys are soldiers, bro. Don't get it twisted. These guys are soldiers.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man. If you're gonna do an entire, national operation of infiltrating ghettos with crack cocaine to fund, international wars, you're not gonna use.
But come on,
you're not gonna use flipping Tesco security guards.
But if you're sitting on the board of CIA or anything like that,
yeah,
and you hear Do you know when they started taking cocaine seriously? When they not the murders got attention, and they're like, these killings have to stop because obviously people are panicking. Then someone said, yeah, they're making like 300 million a day. Say what? What? And that's when they're like, they're making what? Oh hell no, we're on drugs. And if you're sitting on that board of CIA, what are you thinking? We're gonna stop drugs? Oh hell no, 300 million a day. Okay, well here's my cut.
That's actually wild. You know,
I'm asking you. You knowing you, Ola, you'd be like, I'm good with the little payment they're paying us. I got a good retirement plan going. They got a good pension for us in this office, and I respect that. But you know in your heart, there's a brother next to you saying, "I'm finna sell drugs. I'm finna be a drug dealer." Because 300, like you said, remember you're watching the heist that you told me to watch.
Yeah.
Like they said, when you say $80 million, it's just $80 million. Yeah. Even if I came to you and said, listen, I've got an opportunity to steal $80 million, you won't sleep all that night.
Bro, do you know what it is, yeah? Even the person that says it to me, I'll be angry at them. Why do you give me this kind of stress?
Why'd you give me this?
Why do you give me this kind of stress?
This tingle.
This kind of...
And here's the thing, yeah?
I wouldn't even to pray right.
Knowing your persona, yeah, I'll be like, listen, I know you ain't going to get your hands dirty. All we need is someone to say, turn left. And you start to justify it. I just sit in the car.
I just say turn left. I said turn left.
I say turn left all the time. I get a quick 50. And that's how your mind just begins to deteriorate.
Of course, bro.
Because I was watching the heist thing, and this guy was hell-bent. One Vegas, robbing Vegas. This guy was hell-bent on robbing slot machines. It's just what he wanted to do. He bought a slot machine to see how he could tamper with it.
Yeah.
And every time they upgraded, he upgraded his tool.
Yeah.
I was like this, bro, you can invent. Go to the invention conference. Yeah. But there was something in him that said, I got to beat these slot machines.
Yeah.
Till he got caught. And for what? For quarters?
Sometimes you got to steal, bro.
You got to. One guy made chips. Ola, the guy made casino chips. I said, imagine if he put that into anything.
How do you make them, though?
Bruh, when he broke down the method, I said, I'd have given up. I'd have gone with the first one we tried. But what they did was, they made the first one. It was rubbish. They flicked it in the air. It fell on the floor. And they went, boom. It sounded like wood. Yeah. The real chips sound like, boom. And then he realized they put a electronic signature strip in them to make sure they're real chips. All he did was paint the signature, put it in the thing, covered it in white thing, and then it was in there. And the first time they did it, they did the $100 chips and $500 chips. Went straight into a casino, walked around for a bit, went to the cashier's desk, and left with $500. It was easy as rain. And so the thing is, one that you told me to, I don't think you watched this episode, he stole $82 million.
Yeah.
The guy just said to him, they're in an airfield, they bring the money in, there's no security. Yeah. The reason why there's no security is because, whether believe it or not, everybody in this world is a cheapskate.
Okay.
So they don't want to fund security, protecting money that no one really knows about, and no one should really have the balls to steal.
Okay.
Do you understand? So they don't pay for security.
Okay.
Because they just think, why are we paying security for this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why waste the money? We'll put cameras around. Are the cameras working? No.
Yeah, I mean.
So the guy knew, and then you hire minorities with no money to come and work there. What kind of arrogance is that?
Yeah, come on.
Come on, bruh.
The first rule is, you have to make sure everyone's well taken care of. I mean, because anyway, I'm not speaking into the mic right now. But yeah, that's rookie, man. Come on. That's
so obviously, these guys are they're refugees. Not refugees, immigrants.
Yeah. From
Dominican Republic, from Colombia, from all those places. And they've come to America for the American dream. But you know what the American dream is, right? They say if you make it here, you can make it anywhere, which is facts. Yeah. But what they don't tell you is you're going to work your ass off.
Of course.
And sometimes you're going to work your ass off. For a Polish person who comes to England, working at McDonald's is live. Yeah. They get a job. And that's why they work so hard. Because they come from a place where it's like, boom. Yeah. You don't get these opportunities. And the same.
They got McDonald's in Poland, though.
I know, but you know what I mean. For the minorities who come up, for the immigrants who come up.
There's definitely a different
the working class, the poor class. So he was a hard worker. Yeah. But then someone said to him, "We can steal all this money." He was the inside man. Yeah. Got family to do it. The problem with any heist is not like we said last week. It's not the stealing. It's the people you do it with. Yeah, I believe you should go the Joker way in Batman Dark Knight. Have you seen that? Yeah, where they rob the bank and he kills everybody. Yeah. Because you kind of each person kills one. Each person one person because
each one teaches.
The truth is, if it's for you, someone's going to be the loose link.
Of course.
And in this team, they took the 82 million, by the way. They ran in, told everyone to get on the floor, and just jacked all the bags. This is him. What I didn't realize was how heavy they would be.
Bro, you see these kind of finer details.
So I'm saying,
bruv. That's what really be getting me. Because that's the stuff that I find really interesting. That's the real problem solving of it. Anyone can walk in with a gun and be like, yeah, give me the money. How you get from A to B, how you carry the money, how you introduce the money into the financial system so you can actually purchase things, how you launder it, all of that stuff is so fascinating. I'd actually love to watch a show on that. I know that's what Ozarks is about and so on, but I'd like to watch a show on like how people have managed to like solve the problems of the crimes.
I don't think they'll show that.
That's true. Actually. Yeah, that's the part you can't put on TV.
Documentary, they all did time, and they were like, "What happened?" Because they said they stole $8 million.
Yeah,
and they accounted for. It's still $8.1 million. They accounted for 1.2 million, is what they said they accounted for. And so they said to the other guys. So the other guys were like, "I don't know what happened to my money. I spent it on this, this." And I was just like, "There's no way. They know where that money is.
Of course,
you just don't say nothing.
Of course, and even finding a good hiding place for that money.
One was the lookout.
Yeah,
and he said I'll give you $1 million just to be the lookout. He said, I don't know why he offered me $1 million. I'd have done it for 10,000. And that's another problem.
Yeah,
you exaggerate because you don't know what 8 million is.
Yeah,
if you know what 8 million is, someone that's been the lookout, you work it like it's basically you're saying I'm gonna pay the guy who sells the phones in EE 200 grand a week. When you can pay him £8 an hour.
But you know it is but that's part of what we were talking about before. You have to make sure that my guy is so heavily invested. Because 10 grand might make him a bit like, yeah. But 8 mils, like,
no. 10 grand for him is 10 grand.
Yeah, true.
$10,000 for someone to be on the lookout is good for the lookout.
Yeah.
Although you get time for being the lookout,
Get time for looking.
No, you get time for being the lookout. Like, you get good time for that.
For real?
Yeah, man. And you're not even, you're not involved.
How can you can't.
If you mastermind the crime, you get more time than the people that actually did.
So of course, if you're the mastermind, I understand that. But if you're the lookout, you can pretend that I wasn't involved. It's so hard to prove that you're involved.
Not really, man.
Because everyone says, in the hood where everyone shouts out 5-0 or they do a bird noise or whatever it is. Pardon?
He was on the lookout at a robbery.
Yeah, but you're supposed to blend in.
You know the worst part? No one knew who did it. The police didn't know who did it. They couldn't figure it out. They put out, again, everyone's tight. Eventually they said, $150,000 reward. Bruv. Snitches came out the woodworks. The guy who came out first was like...
Snitches started lacing up their shoes.
Finally! Damn!
I was waiting. Can you snitches are watching Crime Watch that? Hey, put that reward up just 10,000 more.
I'm going to tell you anything. Guy shows up, tells them he knows who did it. They're like, how are you so sure? He said, because they asked me to do it, and I said no, and I felt pissed off that they didn't get involved.
But if someone says no, then I guess you have to start killing people that say no.
And this is what I want all the potential heist people out there to know. Yeah. Okay, don't just be prepared to steal the money. Prepare to kill the crew too. Because his brother-in-law, his wife's brother, was one of the people on the heist. He was the strong head guy. He drove the whips. He was on it. But he was going to strip clubs, blowing money fast, buying Rolexes and blowing money fast. And then was like, you're going to draw attention to the point where he had him kidnapped on a pretend thing to beat him up and just talk some sense to him. It didn't work. He did it again. It didn't work.
Are you serious?
And then they took his money. It didn't work. Next thing you know, the kidnappers who took the money who was working for him realized they had money. So they kidnapped him and said they want him to bring them 2 million or they're going to kill their brother-in-law or his brother-in-law. So they were begging, trying to get the money for him and whatnot. Meanwhile, the police have caught on to them. And the police are doing surveillance.
Yeah.
Through phones. And so, right. So they're listening to this. So he says, all right, cool, I'm going to come and get him. So they're following all of this. And they said, well, they follow him. He goes to the gun store to buy guns. He said, I was going to blow everybody out. So he's driving up there. They realize we can't. Because when they called him first, he said, I don't care, kill him. You'll be doing me a favor. Yeah. So the police were like, what? So when they realized he was on his way, they said they can't have a shootout. So they intervened with him. They said, we can rescue your brother. We know where he is. So they found his brother-in-law and, rescued him from the kidnappers, but everybody went to jail.
Nuts.
But the thing is, I think for them, the life on the run, it becomes tedious.
It's always going to be taxing. And that's the part a lot of people don't think about. They think they're just going to be on a beach. Every Eddie Murphy movie where
Morgan
he finishes,
Freeman.
you just go to the beach and then it's all wonderful from there. But you know the interesting thing, what you said. I like what you said about the fact that they wouldn't show you like exactly some of those details how they get away with it. Because I've seen a crime show where they were like, you know, they put a clear tasteless substance in the person's drink, and for the purposes of safety or whatever, we're not gonna let you know what that thing is. But I don't watch so many crime shows. I knew it was ethylene glycol. Like that's
Is that true syrup?
No, that's antifreeze.
Antifreeze.
Yeah,
That's poison.
Yeah,
That kills.
it kills you. Yeah. But it's tasteless and it's odorless and it's clear.
Okay, that's like cyanide.
Cyanide smells like...
Cyanide cannot be detected unless you're looking for it.
Yes, I know that.
Yeah.
But can't you smell it?
No.
Which one smells like almonds?
I've never used poison before.
No, there's one that smells like almonds.
Almond.
Yeah, obviously almonds. Sorry.
The croissant. Those almond croissants in Tesco's, brap.
There's... Bro, your branches are so left today. No, there's like one... Maybe it's arsenic. Maybe it's arsenic.
Might be arsenic.
Yeah,
Oof,
but...
these are strong poisons, boy.
But anyway, the point is with ethylene glycol.
You know antifreeze is in the thing you wash in your cars.
Yeah, I know what
That's
antifreeze
evil, man.
is. Yeah, but there was a whole bunch of crimes, and usually, you know, whenever you're watching a show, a crime show, whatever it is, and you hear the person get poisoned, you can almost always be sure it's a woman. 100%. No, they
Men do too, though.
like they do on odd occasion, but most profilers will show you that.
You know why?
Poisoning
Because
is a woman's method of killing.
yeah,
It's distant,
it's distant. It's
and
personal.
also it's personal, and you don't require strength.
Yeah, which well, you know what? Again, it depends because snapped women who kill. I've seen some women say, "Fuck the poison."
Oh yeah,
we're gonna let the world know what happened here.
Some of them are coming up face to
Motherfuckers
face.
get their heads chopped off. I've seen
They're
motherfuckers.
ready, yeah.
I saw a wife put her husband in an acid bowl and she killed him. Got her
Boyfriend.
I don't know who he was.
Oh my God.
He was her lab assistant.
There's always some
who would just do anything she told him.
Of course.
And he just put him in an acid. He lured him to the house. They killed him. She put him in an acid
Buff.
Yeah, and put him in storage. I was in court talking about wasn't me. I was like, God,
That's a cold.
But poison, yes, because I do remember a woman was poisoning her husband with arsenic, and they didn't know. And
Have you seen? I don't know. I can't remember because I've watched these like women who kill ones. There's one where she was poisoning him over time, though.
yes,
So it was slowly building up in the
Yes.
system, and each time he would have like a real sickness, like
Yeah.
maybe it's built up too much.
it was some soup.
She'd be at the hospital crying.
Yeah. Well, not even that. When she got, I think if it's the same one, he started getting better in hospital.
Yeah.
And then he got sick again. And they were like, why is he getting sick? He's in the hospital. And she was bringing him soup.
That's a this.
There was one, she was called the Black Widow. She set the house on fire. Went to work. Came home from work quickly and set the house on fire and killed him. But but the mad thing about her was
Man, was said the beauty.
someone said her ex-husband died of different, funny circumstances.
Yeah.
So therefore, was there a pattern? They exhumed his body. Arsenic poison. She poisoned him. So they charged her for that, and she would claim the insurance on them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I've heard that. I've heard there's a lot of those insurance ones. The women who kill for insurance, like you'll see they've got a bunch of bodies on their hands, and they will be
But
like,
normally it's because they have an affair, and they want to get rid of the husband, and so I've seen some, they solicit their brother-in-law, or not their brother-in-law, their thug nigga local guy that they know,
yeah,
to come and kill him. I'm gonna give you $10,000 out of the life insurance policy.
yeah.
It always goes to shit.
Of course.
In the first interview, the guy's like, "I'll give him 2 cigarettes. I'm tell you everything."
But these women don't be knowing real.
I think
hitmen.
There
There was one that I saw where the woman was asked, the only reason the woman got caught is because she asked so many people. And the way she asked them was like she was constantly making jokes about it. She'd constantly be like, if only I gave you 10,000, you killed my husband. It's like, hey, by the time you told that joke to 6 people and then your husband dies, it's like, come on, man, you've done left the whole trail. They don't really know killers like that.
No one knows killers like that.
Unless you roll with killers.
No, even if you roll with killers come cheap. So every
That's what I'm
program
saying.
I've watched,
If you know them, the price is not the issue with killers.
yeah,
It's knowing a
but
real
even
killer.
if you know the killers, they don't get off scot-free. Because unless you're a professional killer,
Yeah.
which must cost a pretty penny,
Mhm.
most of them go local, and police always find it. They just always.
Them homegrown
There was a lawyer.
talents.
A lawyer hired a black person to kill his wife,
Mm.
but he knew his 2 kids would be with her.
Yeah.
He told him not to harm the kids, just kill the wife.
Yeah.
But this is a high-profile lawyer,
Yeah.
brilliant man
Yeah.
in terms of he was just white and brilliant. I mean, what more do you need in life?
And he was white and brilliant.
White and
Are you
brilliant,
talking about
like,
lawyer
you
or toothpaste, bro?
You
What's
can't, you
going on?
can't fail when you're that.
Yeah.
Married a white woman, had twins. The suburban life, had a nice house.
Yep.
But he had a client who he represented who was a drug dealer.
Okay.
And this drug dealer guy was, he helped him bust case. But here's the thing.
So you owed him a favor.
I don't even think he owed him a favor. He started actually working in the drug business.
Yes, I've seen this
So I
one.
think
And
he
he
felt-
felt like he wanted to get like,
I think he just liked the whole
yeah, like
whatever.
the underworld.
And I think his wife was going to leave him, maybe. I can't remember what happened. And that's why he set up the hit.
Yeah, because he didn't want
But-
to take all the.
Yeah, right. But unfortunately for him, when you kill a white woman in America, ooh, you best hope there's no trail. Because they put, and the thing is this: if he had just killed her by herself, the attention wouldn't have been mad. It'd have been mad, but not mad.
Yeah.
She was killed with the 2 babies in the back. America said, "Oh hell no!
Yeah,
we
America
want
ain't gonna-
answers."
Yeah.
So the pressure was on. This this low life bum who did the murder, of course, goes to the hood and starts bragging. Bear in mind, yeah, he solicited someone that's miles away from that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So he's gone over there, started chugging, lit up some white woman the other day, just trying to, get some street cred, thinking he won't get back. But that shit hits the news.
Bro.
That shit hits the news.
Yeah.
And people who watch the news. And then
Yeah.
one guy just called. Yeah, no. Said he was bragging about it. Boom, they pull him in. They put him in the police station. Now all of a sudden he's not the hard guy who was pulling triggers, bragging about
Of
it.
course
They
not.
put
bro.
that heat on him. He says he was told to do it by the drug dealer guy, who's his client.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they were like, huh? Why would he want to kill her? Boom, boom, boom. Who's his lawyer? The husband. They put 2 and 2 together.
Of
He was
course.
facing the death penalty. But like I said, brilliant and white. He got life in prison.
I mean, if you spend all that time getting drug dealers off, you should be able to help yourself. You'd be like a barber.
This should have been... He should
like
have been killed.
barbers who have dead trims. It's like, come on, man.
But I think people said,
help yourself.
the kids don't have to deal with that extra blow and whatnot. So,
Yeah, I mean, you leave the kids alive for a little insurance policy.
yeah. Man.
That's cold, but he probably did think it through. Like,
Yo, Tupac quote. I don't know if I even listened to Tupac. I had one. I can't remember what it was, but it wasn't crazy.
isn't crazy? We've had a few from crazy.
Yeah, but this was just another verse.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the verse, bro? What's the quote?
I'm bopping it in my head like,
Man, just rolling through the whole song right now, trying to find that quote.
I think it was
Don't force it if it's not there.
I think it was
We'll drop something. Tupac comes out anyway.
I think it was I entered the game, look how much I changed. I'm no longer innocent, casualties of fame.
Is that how you feel? Is that how you've been feeling this week?
No,
Are you a casualty of fame?
not casualty of fame, but I entered the game, look how much I changed.
Okay.
I think, when I entered the comedy game, I realized how much I've changed. And I'm no longer innocent in that sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
We,
And it's a casualty.
we always joke about that innocence that we had. And,
Yeah.
it's kind of funny still. I mean, I think recently we were talking about how, when they tell you can headline and you're like, oh, can I, sir? And now you're like, let me get
I
home
did the
early.
middle at the boat on the weekend, and I was so happy.
Bro.
Because you just go in and go home.
I know. I think that innocence at the beginning, when I used to like print T-shirts with,
face on them.
www.olathecomedian.com.
It's that
on it.
youthful exuberance, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of youthful exuberance, and I think it's good. I think you shouldn't skip that stage.
Never.
I don't
ever,
think.
ever. You
I
gotta
think
go through it.
if you try and come in the game, you try and come in and be cool and from the beginning, like you done 3 tours already. I think you're really missing out on a certain period of growth, because that exuberance is what takes you to go and do the dumb gigs that don't pay you and whatnot, but really build you up. That's what
Yes.
takes you to go and try stuff that you figure out doesn't work, and then you can grow from it. And then you got, a bunch of cringy, 5-minute sets to look back on and laugh and say, all right, that's where I started.
I counted how many hotels how many times I've stayed in a hotel
That's nuts.
since
bro.
I started in 2014. That's
How
when I
many?
started doing the hotels and circuit journey.
Yeah.
And I think I've stayed in hotels around, I counted like 72 times
72. Okay.
over 6 years.
Okay. That's what 12 a year. What a month.
Possibly, yeah.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not
But
bad.
then I tried to count how many gigs, and I was just
Bro,
like,
nah, there's no point, bro. You remember all your gigs man, at this point,
I didn't remember all the hotels.
bro.
And I didn't count hotels that I just stayed in.
Yeah.
It had to be for a gig purpose.
Yeah.
So it was like Dubai and. But then the thing is, you know,
In Dubai, we done stayed in like 6 different hotels anyway, because you move around all the time.
you stay in so many different hotels.
Yeah.
So I counted how many different hotels I stayed in,
Nuts.
and I don't even remember all of them. I don't think I remembered all of them
Wow.
because sometimes you stay in a makeshift hotel so they can move you to the next hotel for like a day.
Yeah.
So and I didn't realize I'd been to Dubai 3 times.
Nuts.
So I was counting, this is me, and then the hotel came into my head. Then I realized it was a different trip. I was like, I've been there 3 times,
Bro.
and then
We didn't put the work in, bro.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
ever slack on the journey, bro.
yeah, I
Don't
tried to
sleep
count the
on it.
shows, and I counted 100 off of one club. Off of one club, I said, "Yeah, I'm going to bed."
Yeah, there's no point.
No
I mean,
point.
I there was one year I started keeping records, and I wanted to get to a certain number of gigs in that year, and blah. After a while, I was like, more.
Imran said he did 100 and what was it? He counted 100 and something that year.
Yeah. I mean, that year in particular, I wanted to do more than 100, and I crossed it by like 115 or something like that. So he did like 170 gigs or something that year.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
not that same year as me, but I'm saying that he told me because it was like,
Because he told me 107. That's when he did his Edinburgh show, right?
yeah, because he did a gang of them in Edinburgh. You could do multiple a day, and then
2014 was a mad year. You know, I went back over the year and I was just like, that was a mad year.
what happened to you in 2014?
I got dropped by my agent in 2013.
Okay,
Signed with a new agent early 2014.
yeah,
Did a John Bishop show.
yeah.
Went to Edinburgh. Went to Dubai. Came back. Went to Australia.
Yeah.
All in
2014. I'm even trying to remember what.
We went to Edinburgh that
2014.
year.
2014. I got married at the end of 2013. So 2014, my first year of marriage, I did a tour, did my usual sort of tour around the US, and then I came back to do Edinburgh.
Yep, we were there.
My first sort of
both
run
there.
doing the comedian and his future wife, and then I shot it for a DVD later that year.
I wasn't
and I
doing
did a bunch of
comedian.
stuff.
I wasn't doing my show, was I? I was in the breakfast thing with CKP lunchtime special.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I say, I don't think I'd go back to Edinburgh. You
Yeah.
know, but I wouldn't tell no one not to go and do it.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Like, I don't want to go, but I'm saying, don't skip out on that time of youthful
No.
exuberance. Watch out for the
Yeah.
curtain.
Just the experience.
Yeah.
I did it 3 times in a row. We did it 3 times in a row.
I mean,
No, you didn't come the other year. I was up there. By
okay,
myself,
yeah.
But the first time we went,
When you went out with Prince,
no, when I went out with Dane.
you went out
When I was
with
staying
them?
with Dane and them
Oh, okay,
for my first hour show, you went there.
okay.
Yeah,
Was that good?
my first hour show.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Well, should hope so. Should
It's
hope
funny.
so.
I remember the show was good. I wasn't the comic I am now.
Yeah.
I wish I understood what comedy was at the time, and now I didn't have to. I wish I understood how to perform more.
Yeah.
Also, it's not my audience.
Of course.
It's
yeah.
a gamble. They didn't understand my experiences, and I didn't understand how to tell it through comedy.
Yeah.
Also, at the point now, I'm at the point where it's like, if it's not your experience, I don't even need you.
Yeah.
But what
and
I
I'm-
found was,
yeah.
one thing was the nights were throwing me.
Yeah.
I was used to 20s in the clubs, and my
Yeah.
20 was really good. Some used to a very good response.
Yeah.
This hour, I was okay for it being quiet in places, but
Yeah.
sometimes where the funny was, they were missing that too.
Okay.
And so I just think to myself, is this worth it? But then one night, these 3 black girls came to my show,
Yeah.
and they were in the front,
Yeah.
and they were laughing so hard, they were throwing me off.
Wow.
And I stopped and
needed
said,
that.
I don't know these girls. And the room was laughing. Because the rest of the room, it's not that they weren't laughing, they just wasn't laughing like them.
Yeah.
And they came out to after the show and said, we've been here for a week, and
Yeah.
the shows are dead. This is the first opportunity we got to laugh.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because the shows were dead, they just didn't get that comedy.
Yeah.
Well, I was, because they were Nigerian as well.
Okay.
They enjoyed the show so much, she brought her family when I toured it in London. What's the name of that place in Kent? Canterbury. I went to Canterbury. You know, the agent sets up a little tour for you.
Okay, you might do the little tour there.
And I went up there. Again, I was very naive in the sense where I didn't understand the game.
Yeah.
I didn't think anybody was going to come to the show. It was sold out. I didn't know it was sold out until the day before. The tech people call you, hi, and be looking so much forward to come to your show, sold out. So that's great. This is me. I was going to ask her, how I didn't promote it. I didn't even mention the shit. And so it sold out. And then I started to understand a bit more. But it's to peep game. The problem wasn't the tours, it was where they were taking me to.
Okay.
You understand? You have to go where your audience is.
Okay.
So that's why I like what C's doing with the comedy festival.
Yeah.
Because our audience will come to there.
Yeah.
And we have to cultivate that audience. What I learned from Edinburgh was these are not my audience.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think there's on the come up, you need to play to different types of audiences so you can hone your skills, right? If you go straight to play to your own audience, you can sometimes get this false feedback loop of like, I'm great, I don't need to improve anything. But then also,
it doesn't matter if you're making money though. That's facts. It doesn't matter if you're making money, bro.
It depends. If
you stumble on your audience early doors and you can make them for what they're worth. Hey, Jack Whitehall wore a chicken suit on his comedy special.
Is that
that's his audience?
Would you want to be Jack Whitehall?
If I was him, yeah.
All right, fair enough.
If I was him, I'd wear 2 chicken suits. Shit, I'd wear the whole farm. If that was my material, if that's what whose Fumbi was, that's what it would be.
But I guess it's a very personal thing. But,
of course.
And I think this maybe even is like a burden that maybe some of us black comics put on ourselves,
right?
To feel like we need to be able to play in front of everybody. And
no,
it's like
we don't.
There's most of the white comics that
don't play anywhere in front of white people.
Yeah,
I have never seen anybody on the say, I'll see you at the Stamina on Sunday. I've never seen that. All the comics on that circuit, I've never played in front of an entire black room. They even say to me, I'd love to. Not all of them, majority of them.
Yeah.
Majority of them.
Big up man like Russell Hicks. That guy just take any gig, bro.
Yeah,
I love it.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that. But Russell's, he has to. Whereas, he has to. Whereas someone like
you mean in terms of like
like a Matt Reese, he doesn't need to worry about stamina and Africa versus Potato. He doesn't have to worry about those shows because what's he gonna do? But having said that, a lot of these cats, a lot of them, if we did have, running,
Africa versus Potato.
it can just be random like that. If we did have good running comedy clubs, a lot of them would actually benefit from playing in front of a black audience. They would enjoy it. Because one, you know how black audiences, we give everybody love in it. As long as the only people we don't give love is black people. It's not that we don't give you love. It's just that with anybody else in front of a black audience, they think to themselves, hey, he's trying.
Yeah.
With a black person, you should know better.
Yeah. That's
you know what we demand.
Yeah.
You're here coming on with green vans, knowing damn well it's all white. We penalize ourselves more.
Yeah.
Because we set the standard high for ourselves.
Yeah.
But here's another thing about it though. If you're black and you go on a stage and you murder it, your nipples will be hard.
I know, right?
With the response they give you.
Oh, it's the best.
It's the best.
It's the best.
You start looking out there thinking, who am I smash tonight? Start getting cocky. Oh, the man them love me.
Yeah.
And so they give it up when they do. But they just expect a higher standard from us.
I agree with you on that. I mean, it's when you are coming up though, I feel like it's important to do that when it comes to when you're trying to establish yourself in your next phase of your career. Going to somewhere like Edinburgh, there are people there in Edinburgh who have the bargaining power with the audience. Audience wants to see them, then they can start doing. I'm doing secret shows. Tickets are limited. Blah blah blah.
Those are the children of that soil.
Yeah,
that's where it works.
But trying to come up in Edinburgh and nobody wants you already.
It's difficult, man.
It is difficult.
It is difficult. It is sad to see so many people take up a show knowing they're not ready, knowing it's not ready, but they're just doing a show for show purposes. You shouldn't never do that because here's the truth. If you start writing your show in January, then you should be practicing it at Edinburgh. Not taking some full, this is it. Because the truth is, you're never going to be able... The full Edinburgh run gave me the whole idea how to do my show. I only had fun when I brought it to Soho Theatre.
Yeah, same for me. When
when
I
started
shot
working.
the DVD later, I was like,
this material bangs.
Yeah.
But even with my special that I shot,
But where else would you get to do an hour for 25 nights?
Well, here's the
straight,
thing:
you know what I'm
the
saying?
special that I shot, I didn't get a chance to do the whole hour, not once. I was doing it in bits, which is fine, but you're getting bit responses. As a whole hour, imagine I was doing the part of the show that I knew was more general funny. I was doing it at all the comedy clubs. The part I knew that was niche to black people, I was doing that at the Sunday Comedy Club. You see what I'm saying? So that's bad preparation anyway.
Of course.
But I never got to do it as a whole. And then on the night, I did it once. And so, you know, you're putting yourself on a lot of pressure because there's a reason why Chappelle does 5. You know, it's not because he's not good, but imagine him doing 5. But if you got the best of them, you got, or it's like that scene in Rush Hour 2 where they just pull the curtain back and you just got a buffet of women to pick from.
I hear that. You know, Edinburgh's not the only way though. Like let's say you kept up with your tour audience, like you had a bunch of people who came back to see you next year, you could basically tour that show and then record the DVDs. You see what I'm saying? You could sort of work it out on tour. You know, going to Canterbury and, you know, whatever it is.
But again, the tours I was doing was not my audience. Actually, you know what? Wow. The best shows I had were where it was areas where they had minorities.
Of course.
So I did a show in Edmonton. And they put me on the cover of the... One thing I loved was I didn't realize there was a whole world of this. That we can actually do as black comics. Like go to these people because it was a Caribbean audience and some Nigerians. And they all came out to the show, did the show, was great. And Tom Ward was opening for me. So, because we had the same agent. But Tom was good though. They came out to me after the show and they were like, we came out because you're black. You know, we love this, wanted to support. And it was beautiful. And they loved the show. And I didn't realize there's a whole audience of these people here. In Edmonton Theatre, where you could just book it out, do your show, and boom. And that's what we should have been doing. Booking, cementing our own. If I'm Kojo's, people will just message me. I think you're amazing. But I never thought, hone this audience. Because they're all grown now.
And you know, there's times where I get onto you about the business side of things. But really and truly, if we had the right kind of management from the beginning, these are the kind of things that really should have been happening.
But you know what? We were the first.
I mean...
There was no blueprint before us.
There were, I mean,
From
well,
who?
there were people before us. There wasn't a blueprint.
There wasn't a blueprint
There
before
wasn't
us,
a blueprint. And, you know...
There wasn't a blueprint for doing it by yourself. It was always to get onto the mainstream.
Well, you could
That
say
was the
Kojo was a blueprint in terms of the fact that he kept his audience together and he used that to leverage into doing shows, doing tours and so on and so forth.
But he still wanted the mainstream too.
Yeah, so maybe not for the mainstream.
In that, once he looked left, that died.
Yeah.
And that mentality changed as well.
Yeah.
So
and
it was
I
like
think
either go to America and make it. And, you know, but it was never a thing where, okay, black British movies, black British sitcoms, black British tours, black British comedy. It was never that. It was, I don't even know what it was.
Well, I mean, he built it up to a certain point, right? And then at some point you go, do you know, I want more. And let's not lie, a big part of the draw at that time was like, if you could book the American comics down, you could book, you know, so and so when he's in town, this guy when he's in town, he's gonna be at my club and blah blah blah. So it makes sense, a logical progression. I always wanted to go to America. It's like they've sold us on that story that you come to make it in New York.
Like I said, but that's why I said there was no blueprint before us. But if we don't set a blueprint now, it will still be the same thing.
Yeah, and I think, to be honest, music has kind of showed us in some ways that, you know, building your own at home kind of gives you the keys to the kingdom everywhere else. You know, Wizkid didn't go to America to go and make it. Nigeria loves Wizkid. Then Nigerians in the UK, Nigerians in the US love Wizkid. Now Black Americans love Wizkid and so on. So in many ways, like Skepta's done it here with the UK. So
Skepta, Chipmunk, Kano, what's his name? JME. You know?
I mean, Chip did go to America to try,
and that was his.
And it didn't work out.
He regretted that. And now look at Chip, man.
Yeah,
he's fucking cemented out here. Who can talk to Chip out here?
So yeah, I think that part of it is really true. Like,
and that's what we're not using as the Black British. If you talk about the Black British comics in this country, we are amongst that crop. Yeah, all of us. What have we got to show for that?
Well, I mean, you know, I guess Mo's doing it now, and he's really touring in the UK, and you know that's taking him to the point where it's on Netflix now, and then you know whatever it is, like all the people that would see it.
But I mean, as a collective. I don't mean individually. We've all got stuff to show individually. I mean, as a collective. as a basis for what the next generation is going to build on. The same way America had to build on Mama's Maybelline, Flip Wilson, Dick Gregory, Richard Pryor. They had to build from those. And all of those people, Red Fox, they all came from somewhere. They were in the burlesque clubs hosting shows.
Yeah.
They all took that energy. Jamie Foxx was in a strip club doing jokes in the strip club. And that's how you get your gig on.
Yeah.
The DJ doing jokes in the strip club, that's a big gig, you know.
Of course.
That's like getting booked for the store.
Of course.
You out here running jokes.
Yeah.
You get funny enough. There's a producer in there who's making it rain. Who that's making jokes on the table? That's when you're on Def Jam.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, and then Def Jam created a platform
And
for
the
black
girls
comedians.
want you to give them a good intro, so
Right, so they're nice to you. So
Yeah.
it's what I'm
It's a powerful
what I'm
place.
essentially saying is when you see Black America today, the place where we all thought was Mecca and where we wanted to go to,
Yeah.
it came from somewhere.
it came from somewhere.
And they gave us the blueprint then by just showing us House Party is an amazing movie. Friday's an amazing movie. Barbershop, Best Man. All these movies are great, but it's because they came from a culture of black exploitation movies.
Yeah.
We can make these movies. The moment John Singleton dropped Boys in the Hood, I got a hood. Everybody had a hood.
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is the mindset for us is we've got this window.
Yeah.
Because we're getting older. We've got this window
Yeah.
to put something down.
But you also have to, the part that we can't negate is, and you kind of touched on this when you said collectively, is that it's not just us in front of the camera. Like these, like you know in in Def Comedy Jam when Martin Lawrence points out the woman that cast him in his first movie and so on, and she's black as well. Like that moment is way more powerful than you realize. Like,
of course,
in
because
order,
she's sanctioned stuff.
exactly. So it's not just a matter of like we need more black talent. We need.
But who are you telling me?
Bro,
But here's the thing,
know,
though. But here's
I
the
know.
thing: how are we gonna get those people if we don't start the foundation? So here's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
If you wrote a sitcom and you casted black people, you got a black casting director. The fact that I've been doing this this thing for this in my little cave now, I've learned so many things about. Wow, I didn't even know this was possible. I didn't know I could actually do that.
Yeah, but here we have a slightly different relationship with all that, because you know here is very much like whether you belong or not. Trying to make your way in for a lot
But
of
where
people
you trying to get into though?
the places where the funding and the distribution is.
They're all there, man.
Pardon?
It's just they're all there. They're all there, man.
I know they're all there,
They're
but
all there.
I'm
It's
saying
just
is
how
that
bad
like
you want it.
if for example, let's say we wanted to get our own Def Comedy Jam made,
Mm-hmm.
it's a slightly different process than what it would be in America. Is what I'm trying to say.
What do you mean?
I'm saying that the process of trying to do it here is that, for example, they have that beautiful opportunity of saying, look, going on mainstream TV just doesn't make any sense. And in fact, what we want to show is that these guys are on cable because it's so raw and blah, blah, blah. Here in this country, we haven't got that same dichotomy of like, oh, we're going to go to, what's the name of this night? Yanga TV or something. It's going to be like, oh, this is so raw and edgy. It's just going to be like, oh, well, I guess these guys didn't make it onto, mainstream TV. And if you do want to go onto mainstream TV, now you got to deal with...
But you don't need mainstream TV, though. There's so many mediums.
I know, but what I'm saying is that here in this country, it's almost like the way in which we view cable TV is different from the way Americans viewed cable TV. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, we don't have that... Well, we have the internet. The internet's where you go be raw now.
What I'm saying is, the only reason Def Jam worked then was because of the time it was in then, right?
Yes, but what I'm saying is that it was a unique opportunity as well.
You won't use that. Russell Simmons was the window for Def Jam.
Mm-hmm.
He saw these comics and he pulled his strings to put this on, which
Yes.
is what put it on.
Yeah.
If you look at that today here,
But then he was able to create a movement out of the fact that these guys should have been on TV, but TV can't handle them. So it was
racism that they weren't on TV.
I know that,
Right.
but what I'm saying is he had a good story to
But
tell
the
to
thing
get everybody
though,
around it.
when you have all that black talent under one roof, there's enough black Americans to tune in anyway. So there was no risk. They saw what was going on in the clubs.
Yeah.
So if this guy in the clubs, it will go on TV.
Yep.
And all you need is Russell Simmons, Def Jam comedy. It's a no-brainer. Put some money behind it. They weren't getting paid. Those comics were getting bus fare. They weren't getting TV royalties. They weren't getting millions to do that. If they told you to do Def Jam for $100, what would you gonna say? Nah, man, I'm gonna wait for my big time. You take it. It's a TV opportunity.
Yeah.
So it was an easy sell. Plus, you get all this is Russell Simmons.
Yeah.
He had Martin Lawrence hosting. Up in the booth, DMX in here tonight. It was blah. Everyone wants to watch Def Jam.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, but again,
Did DMX ever go to
no. What I'm saying, What I'm saying is,
Yeah.
even Def Jam only came because of something before.
Yeah.
They had BT Comic View.
Yeah.
But remember, it's like that with black people. BT Comic View is like, yeah, but it's BET.
Yeah.
Def Jam was on, maybe CBS or something like that. Oh, it's
No, but that's my point. It
Yeah, I
wasn't
get
on
it.
CBS.
Oh, what was it on?
It was on one cable channel. I can't even.
But it was on cable,
Was
innit?
it wasn't HBO. No, it was on cable.
It was
when
on cable.
when cable was dead. When it was like cable was like.
But wasn't cable where you got X-rated stuff, like, your little 70s
Yeah,
sleazy shows?
people saw cable as like the dingy
alternative.
place for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you remember,
Yeah.
but America had public access TV.
What's that?
You remember? So like public access TV is where someone sets up a TV station and you pay flipping $500 an hour to put something on the air. Right? So I could go make my own TV show and put it online. They would have public access TV channels on cable. Right, where like if let's say I wanted to make a local show talking about local issues in the local community,
Right.
I could put on my own TV show and become a local TV star.
Right.
So that's how people didn't see it as like the thing, right? You want to be on network TV. Network TV is like where you get the CBSs and so on.
And that's the misconception.
Yeah,
Because Edinburgh wasn't a thing.
mm-hmm.
It wasn't supposed to be. It was the alternative comics who went there.
Yeah,
And then but then we forget, TV is aimed at their audience.
yeah.
Not everybody watches TV. So even when you're saying, I want to be on this TV, do you actually think to yourself, where do I fit on this TV screen?
I mean, this is it.
If you were to be on TV today, what show would you be on? I think, you could be able to host like, the QI or one of them shows there.
See, that's what you'd think. But even then, it's like, it would still be me. I would be as welcome on, or as a good fit on QI as I am on Big Nasty Show, for example.
You'll be a good fit on Big Nasty Show.
Exactly. So I don't think I'd be that great. It's just
Why wouldn't you be a good fit on QI?
Because
you don't think be a good.
This is what it is. As when I'm around black people, I'm the intelligent guy for some reason. That's how people classify me, right? But that's the thing.
You're not intelligent.
That's up for debate.
You don't say you're intelligent.
I think that's subjective.
You don't think you're intelligent.
I don't think I'm that intelligent.
You don't think you're a smart person.
No, I just think it defines me because blackness is often defined around foolishness. I don't.
Okay.
There's lots of smart.
You don't think you're overly intelligent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not so much that you would initially go, "Oh, this guy needs to be on QI," but the reason
I'll put you on QI.
But
I won't put you on
the reason why you
the players.
think that is because my USP when I'm around black people is being smart and intelligent.
So then use that.
Well, first of all, I think that's a slippery slope because being smart and intelligent around black people and taking it as a USP and going out into the world and saying, "Look, I'm smart."
Dave Chappelle's smart and intelligent.
Yeah, but he doesn't use that as his. You don't see him trying to host QI or anything like that. He just does
because he's
funniness.
unfortunately. Well, I'm talking about the dynamics here.
Yeah,
I don't think you should be on QI, but I'm just saying if you thought what
it
I
was
said
on
was
HBO.
if you look at
Comedy
TV,
Jam was on HBO, by the way.
Yeah, it was. If you look on TV, I said, where do you think you would fit? And that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I don't
also throw you out there randomly based on who I know. I'll say QI, but I'm not saying that's your. I agree with you.
Yeah.
You should have a Chappelle moment, like
Yeah.
where he's not quintessential black. He's not hood. That's why Phase on Love was like, my niggas didn't find him funny. We're like, yeah, you and your three fat buddies. But the point is,
so what I'm saying is that, like, if let's say to everybody in the hood, Dave Chappelle's the nerdy guy, somebody goes, oh, well then he should be on Big Bang Theory. No, not really. Dave Chappelle doesn't necessarily need to be on Big Bang Theory. It's just because relative to you guys, he's the nerdy one. Pardon?
He was on Def Jam.
He was on Def Jam. But again, it's like, compared to, most of his other buddies like Neil and whoever else he was doing stand-up with at that time, he's the black guy. So everybody's defining you relative to an existing group. But when you put Dave Chappelle in Chappelle's show, you get, that's where Dave actually really fits on TV. Def Comedy Jam was not the best fit for him.
It was.
I don't think so.
He smashed all these performances. He did the whole nigga routine on Def Jam. He went mad.
I'm not so sure about that.
Did you want to put it up?
As a big Chappelle fan, I'm not saying he didn't do well. I'm saying he's a
Right.
good comic. But I don't think, when you said, where do you fit on TV?
Yeah.
I don't think that's his fit.
He's black.
That's
If he didn't fit in a black room, where else would he fit?
I think...
Because what I'm saying, I can understand if he's... Chris Rock didn't fit.
I think it was a very
Chris
specific
Rock
black.
didn't fit.
Yeah.
But
I
Chappelle
think
definitely fit.
I think both Chris Rock and Chappelle didn't fit. Chappelle did well. Chris got some laughs. And
His style didn't fit, though.
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying Chappelle really
I understand. I understand what you're saying. His style was different. It
Yeah.
was not the quintessential what you see on Def Jam with the
I had
energy.
to get a gun,
Right,
man.
right.
Like-
But he did stand up. The
Yeah.
reason why he did so well is because he did himself. Same
Yeah.
as Eddie Griffin, they did themselves. Then these
Yeah.
are seasoned comics.
Yeah.
They've been performing for a minute now.
Yeah.
And they didn't change that.
Yeah.
That's why they stood out more.
Yeah.
Whereas if he tried to do what they did,
Yeah.
Chris Rock, I think Chris Rock came with a level of contentment.
What you think? Because you felt like his star already.
And like he didn't really want to stoop down to their level. Because he said to the guy in the front, so you got army fatigues on? He didn't tell you the war was over? No? Okay. You know what I mean? And it went over everyone's head.
Yeah.
But I got it. It's like
Yeah,
no
of
one told you the
course,
war's
of
over.
course.
You
Of
understand?
course. I mean, we
So I
got
thought
it, but-
I feel like you should be able to pattern yourself to the audience. So here's the thing: if
But
I come
Chris Rock was doing that, but you have to understand.
I don't think he was.
But
This is how
I
it should
just
have come out. This is what I'm saying, right? If I come, when I go to the store, I do my thing. It's
Yeah.
professional. How you guys doing? You're good. When you come home to the cookout, okay, do a dance.
You would
Do a shoulder bob for
you
them,
wanted Chris
know?
Rock doing the Tootsie Roll? Nah,
But here's the
man.
thing, though, and here's the thing: if you're not gonna do that, at least make the material bang in it.
But and Chris Rock was hosting, wasn't he?
You know as well.
So I
he
feel
didn't
like
want to. He was just doing his special in it.
yeah,
He didn't want to do the material.
that's what I felt like was happening. That's why he was doing. That's why he was like, oh,
Okay, yeah, he didn't really do his material.
yeah.
Because
He was trying to.
Yeah. Because Chris Rock, although Chris Rock does draw a heavy black audience,
Yeah.
but he's middle class black. It's still not Def Jam.
That's my point.
It's still not Def Jam.
My point though is that you said Def Comedy Jam is a black room. It's not just a black room. It's a very specific kind of
It's
black,
a black room.
And they tried to fit.
It's
all
a
these
black
different-
room. It's a black room.
Yeah.
It is a black room. And here's the thing, and Chappelle proved that. Because as long as you come as yourself, it's a black room. Because no one didn't not say, I don't get this nigga. People laughed at everything he said. Even he did
Okay.
the joke about putting a dick in his mouth in Def Jam. That could have got back in them times. That nigga say dick in his mouth, right? I don't have the heart to bite somebody's dick off. Everybody laughed. Oh, click. Or when he came, I said,
Don't tell nobody.
I
about
just
that
moved to
stuff.
New York. You know, I was like, yo, there's a gay guy. There's a gay guy. Oh, what the fuck, man? But when the best line was when he said, came out of the bus station, was like, New York. He had to, and that's when I started to think to myself, hold on a second. What's different about this? Because I'd seen Carl Thomas come on, and Carl Thomas was funny.
Yeah.
You know, the NBA players are getting $10 million a show. For $10 million, I will lotion
lift
the bench, sand the bench. I will build the bench. And he starts building the bench. And he goes, I got the foul, man. It's some bullshit. And he pulls out the tape. You can't fault that. You can't fault that.
Those Def Comedy Jam shenanigans are undefeated, bro.
But the confidence to do that.
Yeah.
Or when he said, you know, he saw these kids pull up to Michael Jordan and they're like, Michael Jordan, 24 points a game for me. I love your game, man. I wear your shoes every night. Can you sign my shoes for me? He said, what if the average nigga in the hood was treated like, nigga, Kulo G?
Move 24 keys
in one night?
bro.
So, and the thing is, when you deep it, they're only talking from their experience.
Yeah.
People try to reduce it as being black, but what else were they going to talk about?
I think one of the biggest victories on Def Comedy Jam was the fact that Craig Robinson had a good set.
Oh, again, did you see Craig Robinson set?
Bro.
But at Def Jam with a piano. That's not
Yeah.
supposed to work. On you know what? This was late Def Jam though. This was in
That was
LA.
that was late
Yo,
Def Jam. That was.
ceremony.
I think they
Everybody
moved
knew
to
the
LA
run-ins.
by
Yeah,
that
by that
point.
time Steve Harvey's hosting. They
Yeah.
got the stars out.
Yeah, that when they moved to LA, I think it got
Like
kind of
Steve Harvey
Hollywood.
ended his
It wasn't.
set.
It wasn't rough like it was in New York.
Steve
bro.
Harvey did his routine, about women what they should be wearing to bed,
Yeah.
Did you know how his whole rant gets really hyped up?
Yeah.
And he ended with, "I'm Steve Harvey, y'all."
Yeah. He was shameless with that. He was like, as long as you can jam your foot into that stiletto heel. I'm Steve Harvey, y'all.
When he did that, I said, "Oh, really?"
Nah, it must have got good to him in the room, bro.
Got good to him,
It
bro.
got good to him.
But so what I was trying to say was, even in that moment, we knew who was gonna make it and who wasn't. Hey, I knew who was a good comedian, and who wasn't. Do you know?
No, there
one
were
of the
people
best
that I
sets-
thought were gonna make
Here's
it
the
who
thing,
didn't make it.
Chappelle and Chris Rock,
Yeah.
probably the two best comics on Def Jam. If you look at where they are now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
None of them had the chair move. Well, Chappelle had moments, but Chris Rock didn't have a chair moving moment.
Of course, yeah.
Do you know who had the biggest chair moving moment? Chris Tucker with the pimp,
Of course.
Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac had the best set.
That's the
100%.
best set.
The
But he didn't have the
set.
best moment though. The best moment was Coco.
With the
Yeah. When she brought the bar out.
I think that's our personal best moment.
Allah.
But if we're gonna be objective, for
everybody stood up.
bro.
I said the best set because it was on for 5 minutes. I just said the best moment in Def Jam I've ever seen because I saw a chair leave.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying for us, no, because I feel like that's the thing that like,
there's no
we
one that
appreciate.
watches Def Jam. Hey, all the listeners on this, if you've watched Def Jam,
Yeah.
tell me you don't remember Coco. You know what killed me about Coco's set? Yeah, when she brought out when she brought the Tangeray, that's when I fell off my chair.
Obviously, because you're like, how did that fit in there?
Tangeray, the whole bowl.
Bro, it's the whole bottle.
No.
But you know what actually kills me? It's the ice.
The
ice.
Because she dropped it and they filmed it. She drops the ice. You're like, this girl got ice in her chest.
Oh, but
You know when black people are like, what?
For anybody who's confused by this, please go and watch Coco on Def Comedy Jam.
On YouTube.
Just watch her opening bit. Just watch her opening. That's all you need to do.
The intro was so good, yeah. She should have left straight after.
She should have left.
Say, I'm gone, man.
That was the whole shit.
She said, I'm Coco, yo.
Cheers.
She should have said, I'm Steve Harvey, yo.
Yo, man.
It's the way he turned around. I'm Steve Harvey, yo. I was already leaving. I was like, bro. You know the worst part? I was like, the set was
It wasn't even that good. It wasn't even that good. He knows how to roll black as well.
But I love it though.
Yeah,
I love it. There's something about that. He's that confident in his ability.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that's a big cherry for a small cake.
Yeah, bro.
You know
I'm
what I
Steve
mean?
Harvey, y'all.
You know? But he just left it there. And I was like, okay, Steve.
Nah,
What's her name? Samore did outfit change.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Do
you know who had one of the baddest sets on Def Jam? Chocolate.
Chocolate, you nasty best. Oh, my goodness.
Face looking like a glazed donut. Yanni cucinadas. And when she said...
when she put the finger up here.
Oh, my God. And she said, it's getting to the point where bitches is begging Biggie Smalls for one more chance. I'm sorry, I'm not there yet, ladies. I thought to myself, do people know how current this material is?
Nah, this is
because Biggie had the album out. She said, I see some ladies in the back who should be having my baby. Ain't no crackheads in here. It was the way she put it. It's getting to the point where bitches is begging Biggie Smalls
for one more chance.
When she put it like
I'm
that.
sorry, ladies. I'm just not there
when
yet.
She put it like that. The song just took a whole different turn.
Oh my goodness! And you know what it is? I stayed watching her afterwards. She became Christian, and she was doing Christian stand up.
The material was trash.
No, it wasn't. Nah, it wasn't trash.
Listen,
she had some funny jokes.
I was gonna message her and say, "Listen, go back to the dick and the thingy jokes. They were
don't do her
like
like
was dope.
that."
Cheryl Underwood. Oh, her Def Jam
Cheryl Underwood.
Where she said, she caught her best friend caught her sleeping with her man, and she was like, you know. I did it for you. He told me if you didn't get some pussy, he was gonna leave your ass. Oh, she said, you know,
she was raw.
She was talking about sucking dick on Def Jam. It was really in your face.
Yeah.
And so Bill Cosby must have been having a heart attack,
bro.
But the joke
Bill Cosby must have watched the whole of Def Comedy Jam.
Like snared.
Oh my goodness. Snared.
But the thing, like, hey, shout out to Dale Hoogie. He had amazing sets. But Cheryl Underwood. The joke that killed me was when she was like. We don't just, you know, suck dick, just get paid to suck dick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get your bills sorted kind of thing. And she's like, you know, I was sucking this dick the other day and, you know, just before he came, I stopped. He's like, what's wrong, girl? She goes, I forgot to pay my phone bill. The room went mad.
Bro, that's...
And it was a beautiful thing. And, you know, what's her name? Adele Givens, who came out such a fucking lady, which is feminism before feminism.
Bruh, I don't know if that's feminism, but it was the
way
her,
she said it, when she said, you know, sometimes I'm in the bath and I need to pee. I don't get that motherfucker. You know, that's not even a set of punchline. That's just facts.
She just dropped facts the whole time, bro. She's like, and the moment when the guy tries to pipe up, and he was like, little ass dick, my big ass lips.
That's like giving a whale a tic tac. You think she had that in the arsenal?
Bro, she had that. She must have had that.
It's not the first time.
Ready to go.
Oh, she was locked and loaded.
Locked and loaded.
She probably instigated it.
She was like, let a dude pipe up right now.
Because she was talking, you know, I think she was really going to go there somewhere, but she goes, I got some big ass lip. Yeah. And then he just jumped up swiftly.
And he was like, yeah.
The bait's already here.
Of course.
This little ass dick, my big ass lip. That bitch actually going to give a whale a tic tac, man. The room left.
If she's come up doing black comedy shows,
she was strapped.
And she has to be strapped.
She was strapped.
She has to be strapped.
She was good though.
Bro, what do you mean? Adele Givens, I think, is my favorite woman on the whole of Def Comedy Jam.
Now behave yourself, man. Some more. Don't do that, man.
Okay.
Did you like Simply Marvelous?
I'll be forgetting. Samore's my favorite
of all time.
Did
you like Simply Marvelous?
So which one was Simply
She's the
Mum?
one that said, what's the motherfucking teas? Iced tea? What's
Tea.
your motherfucking
There's
tea on a thunderstorm?
Yeah, no. I mean, like,
She's the one that said,
her and Laura Hayes were like those ones that you kind of go.
Laura Hayes was incredible.
I didn't.
She was like your homie, innit? Your homie chatting, innit? Her jokes were funny. They said, when her sister was getting domestic abuse from her husband, she said, "Mama called our phone, all our phones ring." She said, "We slapping 5-0 to see her bitch hit this." And then she pulled her wig off. Come on, Allah.
But
no one had seen that before,
bruh. That's what I'm saying. Like at that point, I was like, "That's cool and all," but some more with the writing, with that Denzel joke alone, the Denzel joke,
fire, man,
fire.
But Simply Mothers did the joke where she's the one that said,
I feel sorry for anybody who doesn't watch stand up listening to this right now.
I know,
man.
right?
We are going heavy,
podcast.
But forget it, man.
If you want to talk about your own podcast. But anyway, my point is, with some more, with Simply Marvelous, she had the joke that said she had this guy gave her, I think it was either gave her head or had sex so good, he had her looking for him in the daytime with a flashlight.
Yeah, and everyone uses that.
Usher took that in the song.
Bro,
Def Jam got robbed.
Def Jam got robbed.
No scrubs, all of that.
Everywhere. Like, even I think they said, like, Bill Bellamy came up with the term booty call.
Well, he did do it on the Def Jam.
Yeah.
Said, my boy Mike Tyson. Is that a booty call or what?
Yeah, like, he coined the term. Like, it was like, he did that. There's so many things that came out of there that, like, boy, you crazy. Oh, no, it was, which, there's like a soundbite that I've heard in so many different places that was from Def Comedy Jam. There's so much that's been taken from that. It was such a cultural touch point. But like we were talking about, obviously from the business
even
side
Kings
of
of Comedy.
Well, of course. I mean, they were all on there,
Go
right?
ahead and keep the party going. R. Kelly did that. Usually I don't do this, but go ahead and hit on with the period of the remix.
Yeah.
And then Mary J. Blige to Cat Williams. This thing right here.
Bruh, I'm telling you, man.
Well, that's what I want for us, man.
Yeah.
So when you're listening to a song, Chipmunk and Stormzy quote one of your lines, you're like, what?
Yeah, I mean, I think rappers already started saying stuff like "couple of cans" and so on. Like,
Yeah.
So Mo's getting that right now, but I think the scene needs to mature a bit more before we get to the point where it's all.
There's no scene though.
What it needs to build first. Of all.
There's no scene.
But Def Comedy Jam still, man, till today, like who were the comics? You said you watched Def Comedy Jam. You're so sure, like you can see who's gonna make it. Who did you look at and said, I think they're gonna make it, but they didn't? Who do you think are the unsung heroes?
Comedians.
The comedians on there on Def Comedy Jam. There's a couple that I feel like
should have done a bit more, but then I watched his special and I realized he's a clown, innit? He's clowning.
Yeah.
Not necessarily writing.
Yeah.
So if he pushed himself as a writer, who knows? There's no comic on there. Mark Curry, maybe. I thought Mark Curry was a better comedian than I thought.
Yeah, but he got a sitcom. He did all right.
No, I mean just like stand-up wise.
Okay. Yeah.
Because he was hella funny.
Yeah.
But when I watched his special for like an hour, it just wasn't the same.
Okay.
Michael Collier, I thought was gonna be.
He's a legend though. Like he's done all right.
Yeah, but again, his special wasn't from what I thought he would be. I thought it would be. This guy is a joke teller.
Yeah.
Great joke teller.
Yeah.
He said he doing this joke. He said, he was in a bar. This guy walks in and ordered 3 shots of this kind of expensive vodka. He said it was $300 a shot. He said he downed them down 3 times. Pa 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 pa. He said, "Woof, you done that quick." He said, "You done it quick too. If you know what I had." He said, "What'd you have?" He said, $12. He said they were being his ass as I left because I did not see where that was coming. And when he said $12, I just said $300. He took 3 and he had $12. But the way Michael Collier will give it with the personality in his voice. But again, I expected a bit more. I expected to see him on the Kings of Comedy or maybe more movies or just more better, more specials and whatnot.
Do you know the people that I felt like really should have blown up? Number 1, Rudy Rush.
No.
I loved Rudy Rush's set.
No.
With the Black as Hell University top, they was talking about like the pirate movies you get, when your girl gets you into a fight, all of those, bro.
Did you see that one? The Michael Jackson impression I told you. He said, "Go Michael."
That's the second one I was gonna say. Ricky Harris.
Regina. I was on the floor.
What? Go, Michael.
Go,
Go, Michael.
There was one, but you know, there was so many
Hit it.
comics here.
Rish it all.
There was so many
Can't stop.
comics here who were so good with their material. Some of the old school cats you could tell have been playing like comedy clubs.
Yeah.
They were really good.
Yeah,
They had
yeah.
good material.
Yeah.
So there's one guy that was like, you know, I was dating this young girl. She was like, you know, you need to do more. The last guy I had cooked, clean, didn't even pay my phone bill. He's like, she needs to get his ass back.
Yeah.
He said she was sucking his dick so good. He's like, back up, let me taste. She was like, He's like, hold on, let me taste some of this. He was funny, man. He was funny.
Bro, Ricky Harris, yeah. And also the Friday
Not
13th
Ricky
joke,
Harris,
though.
bro. Ricky Harris is a bit like Carl Thomas for me.
But Ricky Harris is the one that did the reaching out.
No, it's not Ricky Harris. That's not Ricky Harris.
That wasn't
Ricky
Ricky.
Harris is one that did the Wesley Snipes one. Ricky Harris is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't do the reaching out one. No, it's another guy. It's a no-namer.
Hit it. Reaching out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't start that. That's not.
Ricky Harris did the
Wesley Snipes.
Keep
The motherfuckers rolling. Pow, pow, pow.
He did the Jason.
Yes, Jason.
one.
I didn't like that joke. I didn't like that joke.
Yeah, I mean that was very
I didn't
specific.
like it.
I liked it when I first watched it
Yeah,
as a teenager.
but when I grew up, I was
But
like,
after a
this
while, I
joke
was
is
like,
trash.
yeah.
But I like to keep the motherfuckers rolling. This could be
Who
you.
did reaching out?
You won't know. I don't know his name. It was one of them ones where he just wore blue jeans
God.
and he's. By the way, the beginnings of that set were in and out.
Yeah.
That moment just stands out because he said it was Chinese people. Go Michael,
He said,
go Michael.
Michael, a bad motherfucker was killing in China.
In China.
You got
Go
Chinese
Michael,
motherfuckers.
go Michael. It's the way he was saying, go Michael, go Michael.
It's so
I go,
racist.
Rishina.
It's not even a reaching out. It's the fact he says hit it first. He goes, hit it. Reaching out. Across the nation. It's that hit it. Bruh.
Because there's no need for it.
There's no need for it, bruv. To go from go Michael,
Go Michael. And it's the way he leaned to the side. I
and
was
it goes,
dying.
hit it. Reach it up. Now that hit it.
Touch the water.
Nah.
There was one guy that did the music. You know, the you know, he clashed Kid Capri, you know, dum, dum. Bruv, Robo was on Def Jam, you know.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, Robo had a good set on Def Jam, you know. I would never want to follow Robo.
When Robo did the clash, the Kid Capri,
He lost. He lost. He literally said, you lost, step to the side. Bitch better have my money. And then I was like this. It's his turn. This is, my Lawrence killed it. This is him. That was Joe Torre that was hosting.
Yeah.
This is him. Thanks for not fucking him up, kid. He was like, what? I'm just getting started, motherfucker. Because he literally cheated.
yeah, I mean it wasn't
Kid Capri
really.
was about to kill him.
Yeah,
But
but I was like, when saying the set though, like this is.
Right, I ain't really here for this. That's all good.
Bro, Kid Capri was smiling the whole time.
Oh,
bruv.
yeah, yeah,
He
he
must
was
have been
smiling the
paid
whole time,
nice.
Bro, that again, and that's what I want us to pick up on in this country.
Kid Capri's the has the most appearances, other than Russell Simmons.
And Martin Lawrence, even more than Martin Lawrence. But
Even
my
more than
point,
Martin Lawrence,
what I
yeah.
wanted to say was, and if you looked in the booth, comics used to hang out there. I saw Talent in there one time. I saw Joe Torre in there one time. So you can imagine when they're taping it, man's just come down and hang out. They had a whole movement going. Chris Tucker, all of them knew each other.
Yeah,
And they were all, I would say they were all proud when they all made it.
yeah.
Like, I knew Chris Tucker was going to, let me not lie, because I knew Chris Tucker before I knew Def Jam.
Okay.
But when Martin Lawrence said this guy's going to be big, he
Yeah.
wasn't just saying it because he enjoyed his set. He already knew what was going on in the industry. He was
Yeah.
already making enough noise.
Yeah.
You know? Chris Tucker's not a great stand-up. He's a funny person.
Yeah, I mean those two sets on Def Comedy Jam,
Were amazing.
hilarious. And to be honest, I thought he was the funniest for a long time because I had heard his on MP3 before I'd even watched it, and like
Stuff, man.
yeah, and I thought this guy's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Like,
Right.
and I mean it's a shame to see where the stand up is now, but I think I
When you
don't
make
think he's
$20
necessarily a
million
bad
film,
stand up.
When you make $2 million a film, you forget how to do stand-up. Yeah, man. You forget how to do stand-up.
Bro, I mean,
How's Martin Lawrence's stand-up these days?
has he been
$20
doing
million
stand-up?
film. How's Eddie Murphy stand-up these days?
But Martin was
$20 million
still
a film.
Martin's still funny after he was doing movies though. I mean,
Since the stroke, man, mine's changed, man. He's a different person. But God bless man.
I mean,
He's a
yeah,
legend
I
in the
mean,
game.
it's more
But I saw a
it's more
video-
inspirational now.
I saw a
It's more-
video of him doing stand-up. And how do I say this respectfully? It was trash.
Martin
Okay.
Lawrence.
It was not
Don't
good.
make me cry,
It wasn't his
bro.
best material. He's older now. He's doing all the blue jokes. But it wasn't great. And the guy in the front was like, corny, man. And it's like, what? Like, come on, man. You ain't got to say that corny. You corny, man. And I was like,
Nah, man.
I was like, that's the part that hurt me the most.
Nah,
That's when I realized, yeah, it's done.
Nah, no, not Martin.
Martin Lawrence interrupt him in a show?
Nah.
Bruh, I wouldn't do that. Because he could clap back like the best of them.
Bruh.
But at that point, he's just not there no more.
When he used to tell, somebody put sign in his mouth
my zipper
my
was
zipper
jammed.
stuck.
Yeah, he said that, run to that. He said that, run to that. He said, someone put something in there, my zipper's jammed. Everybody was like, oh. One guy at a show again, he was talking about how he's not circumcised. He said he was circumcised, how he got circumcised. Yeah. And he goes, how did you know? He was talking about other guys. And he said, not everyone's circumcised. Yeah. Guy goes, how did you know? He goes, because I wasn't always circumcised, man. He even let it slide. Yeah. So we found out on that road trip. This is him. I found out on that road trip. Hey, anyone that's listening, just Google Martin Lawrence shuts down Heckler. Because he destroyed him. Bruh. He just him, motherfucker, my dick is circumcised because I'm going to make it convenient for your moms. This is him asking mother if I'm circumcised. Ask that bitch that. And the room just went, uh-oh. And
he was dangerous.
This is him. I do the jokes. I'm the one that dictates how it's going to be funny. You don't see me coming to your way, kicking dicks out of your mouth.
Oh, my goodness. That was on the album, wasn't it?
This is it's going to be on the album, motherfucker. So Miss Jones is going to get national attention. He was not. He just thought, who is this guy? You know, you unload the clip, it's like he's dead.
You know, he had the joke actually. He didn't even finish it probably with a proper punchline. He had a joke about Michael Jackson being so big right now. And
when he goes, they're like, oh, Johnny Michael Jackson. I was like, I don't even know Michael Jackson. I don't even know Michael Jackson. They said he going to, I feel like a little bitch. Oh my God. Let me for your nose. Oh my God.
I was just when he was talking about him on one of his albums, talking about him like jamming out in Bucharest. It's the way he said it was so funny, but I think that was sometimes his downfall was the fact that he was so funny in his delivery of the
naturally
setup.
Funny.
He's got it in
funny.
him.
Like
so
he said,
there was no punchline on it. It was just like, you got to be a bad motherfucker if you jamming out in Bucharest. Yeah. Where you gonna be next week? I'm gonna be in Bucharest. yeah. Niggas is jamming in Bucharest.
Remember his audience though.
I mean, yeah.
Right. They're people. If you did that to a middle class black audience, okay, we've all been to Bucharest. We've been to Bucharest. I did my exchange in Bucharest actually. Whereas if you're talking to bros off the block, niggas said Bucharest. It's like when Cat Williams said they use words that they know niggas are not readily identified with in terms of when they're doing the war. Said they've killed 10,000 insurgents. I don't even know no motherfucking insurgents. I don't have one insurgent friends. You can kill all them motherfuckers. And it's true. Because when you see insurgent, you don't think people. Yeah. And it's very clever wording. Yeah. You know, because you don't associate that with a human being. They say we're killing niggas in Iraq. You're like, whoa, they're killing niggas in Iraq? You lose your mind. So it was clever how, you're right, but he played to his audience. It's like he said, keep supporting these artists. You know, y'all do wrong. You don't support them all the way. You know, I saw Kumodine and didn't answer the other day. Nigga had a crisscross jacket on. Looking confused as a motherfucker.
And he does the walk.
He does the walk. Hey, Allah, my heart sank. No. He said, remember Kumodi, how you like me? Nah. It was painful. But again, he's just so naturally funny.
Nah.
When the first Def Jam I saw was when he hosted it. And Ed Lover from Your MTV Raps was there. Yeah. With Troy something, who was doing Your MTV Raps at the time. And Jason Williams, who's a basketball player, was there. And is it Anthony Mason? One of those other basketball players was there. And you know how Martin Lawrence comes out, energy. And he goes, Derek Williams. Derek, 6'10", dick swinging. And it was my introduction to Def Jam, you know. My heart jumped up. What? Because he went so left quickly. Yeah. You see him, dick swinging. This thing, did he really, huh? I bet you just rap to them. You don't have to rap to the bitches. Where you going, hey, 3 mil.
And which way you going? Which way you going?
He was clever at acting out the whole parts. Which way you going? And then he picked on the other guy. He said, his girlfriend is MC Light. And he got a tattoo on the chest with MC Light on the shit. And I used to fuck her. When that landed here, I just said to myself, he left.
Bro, everybody so left their body at that moment,
everyone was
bro.
like, you know what?
People ran down the aisles, bro. If you watch it, people are running down the aisles.
You're a celebrity in that. You look at a man like this, hey, don't bring it here, bro. Don't bring it here, bro.
And it was like, it was just calming down, and
God.
there's a lot of light at the end of that tunnel.
And then he said Ice-T. Was it Ice-T? He did Ice-T, and he said something about, he goes, you my motherfucker though. Like he was on a trip that day.
Yeah,
and then he said to the girl, "That's a lot of hair. There's a bald horse in Central
Central
Park."
Park.
That day he was on fire.
doing the act out.
Yeah. So,
Oh.
so he just had that natural ability.
Yeah.
But the stroke he had definitely.
And he was running around the stage like he was so proud of himself.
I think it was
because
high.
he started doing the bald horse thing.
Oh my
he
god!
runs
Then
around the stage
and then
and
started
comes
shaking.
back to it again.
It was cold. Yeah, because the horse was cold.
Cold.
Oh my god! I just said to myself, "This is." But the thing about that, when you're watching comedy as a come up, you almost those moments actually distort your mind of comedy.
Yeah.
Because you might think, "Oh, I have to do that," or "Oh, I have to perform like that."
Yeah.
And so your writing is not developed. It's your performance you're thinking of.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think that's what you've seen spawned in almost, 80%, I say, of black comics who've come post Def Comedy Jam has been an incredible focus on performance. Because it's kind of birthed more of itself.
Do you think that's a good thing? Because like that kid on Wildin' Out who sounds like Chris Rock.
Who is that?
Skinny kid, black kid. He's got the Chris Rock voice, and he's always he tours with Carlos, and they have like a 4-hour show where they just.
You mean the Chris Tucker voice?
Yeah.
You said Chris Rock voice.
Chris Tucker voice.
The Chris Tucker voice. DC Young Fly.
DC Young Fly.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't think they're funny or not, but they're not writers.
Yeah. And do you know what it is? I don't think it's just them. I think the audience has been trained by Def Comedy Jam. I mean,
that audience anyway.
Well, that audience, yeah. So
because I think they're funny.
Yeah. No,
but
there's no
I
doubt
can't
about
be
whether
on
these
stage
guys
for
are
3
funny.
hours and just ripping the audience, but the audience love it.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't see ripping as comedy, I think you're just ripping someone.
Yeah, I think it's part of it. I personally prefer if you come with something formative that I can take back and say, this is what you worked on and you brought it to the stage. If you come and rip for half an hour, I respect that you have that ability to do that and you can be funny for consistently off the cuff. But at the same time, I don't have anything to take away from that. There's nothing, unless you just put out endless tapes of you ripping people.
Well, Lisa Lampanelli
but these people that we're talking about now
doesn't do it no more. Doesn't do comedy no more.
Who?
Lisa Lampanelli.
She doesn't.
Nah, she does a little cooking thing. She's vegan and all that. But I think
she must have put out a lot of bad energy in her lifetime, man.
And she said, I don't want to do that no more. And I can understand why, because she became that person.
Yeah.
Can you just come and be mean?
Yeah.
It's like I'm not mean. I'm actually joking.
Yeah.
But they've made that character mean.
Yes.
And so you lose love for it,
Yeah. I think, and there's something to be said for that, what you say while you're joking.
The truth is said in jest.
Exactly. It doesn't just all go off into the ether.
So like look at black comedian who always gets in his own way. Impressions. Was on Def Jam.
Always gets in his own way.
Yeah.
Why do you say that? What?
He's always he's too egotistical. He thinks he'd be better than everyone. Was on Swear in the Morning talking about
Ari Spears.
Ari Spears.
Yeah.
Who is a funny person.
Yeah.
But when he was on Mad TV and was right with Key and Peele and them, he was the kind of person who's like, if a celebrity's going through a drug problem, that's what we're targeting.
Yeah.
Which is funny to your little audience and your little minions, which is fine.
Yeah.
But when you come out of that, you're going to bump into these people.
Yeah.
You're going to grow out of that age and have something actually to say.
Yeah.
But people are going to remember what you said about them. So DMX was like, he said that, he want DMX to see the impression, but when DMX to help him plug the up or to kind of help him sign his album or something like that,
Okay.
But you didn't want him to see the impression you made of him because you knew he would take that in a negative way.
Wow.
So you will block an opportunity because if I see what you've done about me, I won't fuck with that guy.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful how you attack.
I know it's all jokes, but at the same time, we do have to kind of take responsibility for whatever comes out of your mouth.
Like I wouldn't want to just write, and I had to learn that too. I wouldn't want to just write something mean, because that came up because I thought that's what you do.
Yeah.
You poke fun at celebrity, you just pick on them.
Yeah.
And I just realized that's just an easy target.
Yeah.
You know,
a fun trivia story, well, not trivia really, but just like a behind the scenes story about a particular Def Comedy Jam comic.
Which one?
I won't say his name.
Why not? Ian Edwards fucked up my show in flipping Montreal.
Okay, no, this because I wasn't there for this.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So this was something that was told to me by some comics when I was in America.
If I've heard this, I'll tell you his name. Go on.
Yeah, so apparently, my guy was out on tour, had his opener. They get talking to some girls. and he draws one. His opener draws one, but his girl wasn't really on it.
Okay.
Something like that. She said she's tired, she's leaving, whatever it is. He goes to where his opener is hooking up with a girl. They're getting into the frozen thing. He comes and taps her on the shoulder and says, "Nah, I'm the headliner. You can't be with the opener. I ain't got nothing." And basically like tells the opener to get out and hooks up with the girl.
Mad.
Bro, I was like, what kind of a scumbag is this?
Famous comic.
He's not even that famous.
Oh, bro. I mean,
I kind of looked down on
I
the
feel
girl
for the
like,
opener.
yuck.
I feel for the opener because imagine.
That opener must have been sitting there, punching the
I
air.
imagine did the opener make it in the end?
Nah, I don't know who the opener is.
Imagine give up free thingy, and you didn't even make it. Mad.
How can you come in and bully the man and say I'm the headliner? What?
What kind of girl was this though?
Chuckle fuckers, man.
Chuckle fuckers.
Yeah.
Never heard that before.
Those are what they call girls who love sleeping with comedians. You never heard that term before?
No.
I guess maybe it's an Edinburgh thing.
Not a lot of girls like to sleep with me, so I don't have
come on, bro. Relax, bro.
I don't have that.
Chopped in your time, bro.
What do you mean I've
You
chopped?
I'm sure you chopped in your time.
I've chopped, you know. What am I? Some kind of
yeah, bro. You are
Pac-Man out here.
Nah, that was chopping,
my point
bro.
is, I've never heard that term before.
All right. Well, maybe I think that might be more of like a UK Edinburgh kind
What
of thing.
do hip hop? What are they called?
It's groupies or whatever it is, but the specific name for comedy groupies.
There's a lot of male groupies, you know.
Chuckle effers.
But you know, male groupies are groupies to men. Interesting, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. This is a weird dynamic, but it just wouldn't make sense if a bunch of guys followed Beyonce around. It would just be criminal, be creepy.
Okay, I hear you. It won't look good, innit?
It won't look good. But yeah, so basically, yeah, she must have just been like she's just happy to hook up with the comic. Like a lot of the comics will tell you stories about just meeting girls like that who really just go to the comedy clubs and hook up with the comedians. Like that's their thing. They love it. Waitresses even. Who
I feel like this is myth folklore, you know, because who are these people?
Bro,
this is America though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's America.
Yeah, I need to go to them. I'm joking.
Now I got a whole book
gigged.
there called "I Killed," and it's all comedians telling stories from the road. There's so many of them about hooking up with one man.
I've never gigged in America, which is criminal.
It is criminal, bro. You should have got up by now.
I've never gigged in America.
Right. I mean, you can make that happen. It's not hard.
Yeah, that's why I'm not tripping.
Yeah. I mean, in all good time, but I mean, I really wanted. That was a big part of what my goals were and stuff. So I really wanted to get out there at that age, and I'm so happy I did, man. I'm so happy I did. By the way, I'll give you a little clue because most people don't watch Def Comedy Jam the way we watch it. The person who this is, just so you can realize how ridiculous it is that he did this as well, is the guy who took his trousers off, and he had the suspenders on for his socks. And he did this Spider-Man thing. He's like,
oh, Honest J.
Oh,
that makes sense though.
This guy. Why would you go? I just spent the whole time.
Because I'm never gonna see Honest J. Number one.
Yeah, but
number two, he did a joke about Africans I didn't like, and so then he can get that. Number three, I liked Honest J.
What? How does that answer my? No, the reason why I don't like saying stuff like that is because I heard it secondhand. I don't know this for fact. Okay. So if it turns out to be fake, I don't be putting man's.
And then what's Honest J gonna do?
Bro, personally, that's my own principle.
What's he gonna do? Take your wife?
Tap me on the shoulder. You ain't been on Def Jam, man.
You disrespected me on your podcast. I did the research. You ain't been on Def Jam. You ain't been in no movies, so you ain't get to talk about me like that. I tried to follow Honest J after Def Jam.
Okay, what happened to his career? I'm sure he tours with.
He did a Netflix special.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't think it's up there no more, but I think he did a special.
Yeah, he's not a household name, but I'm sure he has an audience.
His style played out.
Really?
I started to see the tricks.
What, doing the uncle and pulling up the trousers and
excessive, and I realized there's no more. This is the problem when you start doing stand up.
Yeah,
you start to realize, okay, you're not writing.
Yeah.
And it's just I'm listen. The other day I was listening to George Carlin, and I was just listening to him doing the 7 deadly words. The number 10. And it blew my mind to a level of I went into my room and cried. Not literally, but I really questioned how I'm gonna level up my writing.
Wow.
Because I'd never seen anyone come and by the way, you would say, the funny's not there, and I agree. It wasn't funny. But he'd gone to a level where people would come and listen to him put these things together. Because it was fascinating for them.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter about being funny no more. And because Honest J and them, they
Isn't
don't.
that the fundamental rule of comedy, though?
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
It's interesting because Honest J was still kind of funny, but it was almost like antic after antic just to draw, because George Carlin can be funny.
Yeah.
Like he said, he started to say, fuck Tiger Woods. Exactly.
This is before the cheating scandal.
No, yeah, but it was because I'm tired of them telling us who we should all look up to.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So he openly like your little
like killing
poster
the
boy,
sacred
man.
cow.
Fuck Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Then it was like, because he's been in your ear so much. What a great guy.
Yeah.
So it's the other guy fighting back like, well, I'm not a great guy.
Yeah.
Because I shoot the shit. But I just love that level of, and said, what kind of name is Tiger anyway? What are these names? Whatever happened to Chad? And it starts going to how we got these soft names. And he's a rant, it's almost like Bill Burr almost.
Yeah.
But his command of the language is incredible,
Mm-hmm.
which allows him to take, this is one of his jokes. He said, why is prostitution not legal? Selling is legal, fucking is legal. Why isn't selling fucking legal? And there's so many entendres in that word.
Yeah.
Are you saying why isn't selling fucking legal? Why isn't selling fucking legal?
Yeah.
So it's just, I like that level.
I mean, he's definitely a wordsmith. I can see that.
Right.
I mean, nobody
The
needs
wordsmith,
to argue with that. He's definitely a wordsmith. But for me personally, I think the number one aim should always be to make someone laugh.
In stand-up comedy?
Yes.
Should it be to be funny? The number one aim in stand-up comedy?
Yes.
Okay.
And then every superpower you have, whether you can play the guitar, you got great use of the English language.
Would you say it's not funny though, or would you say it's not funny enough? Because you can't tell me this thing is not funny.
I think at many points, Carlin's humor took a backseat to how clever he was.
Yes.
And I think that's a problem.
But don't you think it's because he got older and he knew
Pardon?
so many things? Because I appreciate what he did in those moments.
Yeah.
I'm glad he did that for the game.
No,
Because
no,
what I'm saying is
no,
this.
it's not- I'm not-
If Eddie Murphy was coming back to do stand-up right now, did you like Eddie Murphy as a stand-up?
I did.
Delirious and Raw.
Two of them my favorites. I mean, Delirious was my favorite,
Okay.
to be fair. But like when I first started falling in love with stand-up, when I got to uni and I decided I wanted to become a stand-up, it's because I was listening to Delirious and...
Now, when you look back at those sets, what you think?
I can poke the holes in them.
Of course. But they're still amazing sets.
But they're amazing sets.
Now, if Eddie Murphy was to come back today and do stand-up, you won't want that.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You won't want that.
I won't. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. And I think Chappelle's a good example of both sides of what I'm saying. I am ever more proud of the fact that I was such a Chappelle fan for everything he's done since he came back. All of these Netflix specials where he has shown his ability to write a great joke, structure a set. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like watching like porn. Like, it's just, how is this guy so good?
It's like watching basketball.
Like, like a well-oiled team play basketball. It's just like, how is it this good? But also, Chappelle, on many an occasion, and this is my ability to make sure I don't idolize anybody, and I'll be honest, there are many times where he has got to the point where it is slightly self-indulgent, and his ability...
Only those short clips.
Yeah, on some of those short clips.
Only those short clips. Not in his stand-up, though.
No, but I think like there's elements of the Bird Revelation, for example, where he is using his ability to tell a story or his ability to hold gravitas, make wise points, and humor's taking a back seat.
Yes.
Doesn't mean that he doesn't make people laugh.
Yes.
But I'm saying that...
But isn't that where we should go to? Maybe that's the guru stage. Because the sensei who's fighting in the karate film isn't doing the most energy like the young cat in the fight. He's taking his moments saying...
I agree with you.
But more time, it's just the stroking of the chin.
I agree with you, but this is the thing. When you get to that guru stage, right, there's a respect that comes with it. There's a love, there's an admiration. But there's also a place for which you say, it's your time. You've got there now.
Well, Carlin died.
You've reached there. Carlin did that, but I'm saying...
So you're saying Chappelle should kill himself now?
No, I'm not saying kill yourself, but what I'm saying is, let's understand that where you've got to in stand-up comedy now, you've clocked the game. You're not playing the game anymore. Now you're doing a storytelling show or whatever.
Isn't that apparent for us, though?
Pardon?
That's apparent to me and you.
I think...
Like, Carlin wasn't playing the game.
I think Chappelle's still kind of playing the game.
Absolutely.
Because he still does stand-up.
But he is getting to that point where it's... Because he's doing a podcast now. He's doing his podcast.
This is what I'm saying.
Genius.
I haven't even listened to it, but I know it's going to be...
You call yourself a Chappelle fan.
Bro, but it's because it's another subscription. I have too many subscriptions. Right
Oh. Wow, my brother subscribes to it. I just listen to my brother when he's listening to it.
now. Oh, look at that.
But hey, let me tell you this, yeah. Oh man,
Bro, I didn't buy tickets to the Chappelle to the
he said
Chappelle
he
stand
was
up
watching.
concert coming.
Do you know what's?
So I am a fan, but I
do you
try
know
to make sure I don't
this
idolize.
concert coming.
Yeah.
I'm never going to see Chappelle live ever again. The only time I'll see Chappelle live is when we're on the same stage together.
Amen to that.
Not because I bought tickets. I done seen him 6 times already. And so he on the podcast, man. He was talking. He can tell a story, man.
Yeah.
And his comedy timing is just
second to none.
It's not even like second to none, because I believe any naturally funny person has that timing.
Yeah, but
I know people who I can hang with,
yeah.
and their timing with funny and stories is incredible.
But I mean, like if you had like top trump cards for comedians, like Dave Chappelle's timing would be on like 95.
Yes.
Yeah. So I like there are comics who have great timing. They might be on 85 or whatever it is, but I think Chappelle.
What do you mean great timing? What you mean for? I'm talking about conversation.
I'm talking about when if he's telling you like, I went downstairs to go grab a plate from the thing. There's a cadence,
yes,
and a timing which he can say that, which will make you laugh, and you'll be like, "Why am I laughing?" He's hacked all of our brains.
Does he tell better stories than Charlie Murphy?
Yes, I'm gonna say yes, only because Charlie Murphy had the benefit of editing. Because you know when he's doing True Hollywood Stories, he's
but
like,
they said they were talking. They said he was killing everyone in the canteen though.
I'm sure he was. But here's the thing as well. When you're killing everyone in a canteen, it's a different thing when they're going to transport it to a product. They're going to sell it outside. And
But then you can say that about Chappelle.
Well, yeah, but I've seen Chappelle do it. I've seen him do it live. I've seen him do it on TV. Yeah. I've seen him do it, on stages around the world, wherever. If Charlie Murphy was that hilarious, then he should be able to tell a story on his special, and we should be cracking up.
Let's stand up, bro.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's stand up. He's not good stand up. I'm talking of a storyteller.
Okay.
That's different from stand up.
I don't know.
Because Chappelle doesn't necessarily he does tell stories when he stand up, to be fair. Some of his stories are, do you know the stories I hate? And for what it's worth.
Which one?
The
peace pipe.
The bus one. The peace pipe. Are you mad? That's the best story of all time. These are 20s, 40s, and 10s.
That's actually one of my least favorite ones in the whole set.
No, the bus one. The bus
because
I didn't like it at all. That almost put me off the set.
The bus was like,
yeah, I didn't like it. I thought he forced it, serial wanker and intimidating. I just didn't. I just thought I didn't. And
to be honest, because it leads into the where do AIDS comes from.
The AIDS, and you know what? That's what kept me in the special.
Yeah, that AIDS bit is the bit that made me want to do stand up.
Okay,
it's just there's one moment where he goes, "Word." When he did that, I said, "I want to do this."
AIDS and people, but that's not, what made me want to do stand up was Chris Rock.
What was that moment? What was that moment that Chris Rock did? Niggas versus black people.
No, it was Bigger and Blacker when he said AIDS, the government's just a bunch of jugglers on the comeback. That's how a juggler gets paid, on the comeback.
Isn't it funny that both of our bits?
I just thought to myself, wow, look how he just explained drugs to me. It's just a bunch of jugglers on the comeback. He said, I've never heard a juggler say, how am I going to sell all this crack? And when he said...
but isn't that funny that both of us, the bit that made us want to do stand-up started to do with AIDS? I don't know. I don't even know why that happens to be a thread.
It wasn't about AIDS. Mine wasn't about AIDS.
You just said it's about AIDS that the government bunch of drug dealers on the comeback.
Yes, about AIDS and how they make you live with it. Yes.
And mine was about like they say that AIDS started because somebody had sex with a monkey.
But I didn't even see it like that, to be fair. But yeah, it was just that bit about how he passed his AIDS test, got 65. And just the El Dorado where a bumper don't fall off, and I was just thinking, how is he making me see things so different?
Yeah,
but I'm laughing my ass off.
Yeah,
just the whole that whole set.
Yeah,
that Big and Black I watched 60 times. My friend told me at the time, Chris Rock's a better comedian than Eddie Murphy, and I said, in what world? I'm talking delirious, raw, but then I put his movies in there.
Yeah,
I didn't consider what just stand up was.
Yeah,
when I saw Bigger and Blacker, and then I watched Bring the Pain.
Yeah,
I said, yeah, he's a better stand up than Eddie Murphy.
I mean,
it was Bring the Pain. Sorry, Bigger and Blacker is my favorite Chris Rock special.
Okay,
and Bigger and Blacker, and For What It's Worth, for me, are the two moments when you drop an album like All Eyes on Me or Reasonable Doubt, or it's just an album where you're like, is this where you are right now?
Yeah. For what is worth for me, that's my favorite special of all time.
Do you know what? Again, when I watched it the first, I got so pissed off with the first story, and I think I was tired. I just said no. Then I watched it. I think what part got me? Oh my God. Grape Drink got me, and I think the Dixie Chicks. When he did the Dixie Chicks joke, where is Ja? I said this, but then when he broke down, how old is 15?
Yeah.
How old is 15?
How old is 15 as a bit?
Yeah, he's up there with it's up there with niggas versus
black people. I'll shake my hand on that. Shake my hand on
those
that.
are those pivotal moments where you're like, fuck.
Because those are some of the most important parts and questions that society needed to be asked at that time, right? The sort of the civil war amongst black people and that crossover of how old is 15 really, they both are enough to split a room and bring everybody back together, because you're like, how is this guy breaking it down such that I've never thought about this before? How is it I can look at one 15-year-old and say, give that guy life? Bro. And I look at another 15-year-old and say, it's just a child.
It's the way he broke. And the thing is, and again, like you said about, there was not a lot of funny in those topics, because the moment he mentioned them, the audience tensed up. Yeah. But because Chappelle's such a master at diverting you from attention. Yeah. You know, these guys were crackheads. They had things to do. Chocolate to eat, you're laughing. Yeah. You're staying with the story.
Of course.
And that's a skill I picked up.
Yeah.
Throwing a
but you
quick
said Elizabeth Smart. How smart was this?
And again, turns out she wasn't that smart after all. Yeah. The worst part is this. That's such an easy flip. Yeah. And he wasn't even the crux of his joke. He just put it. That's why he rushed it. Yeah. Turns out this bitch wasn't smart after all. Yeah. But what everybody was uncomfortable was he was talking about a white girl who was 15. Yeah. But he was describing her with the terms bitch. Yeah. Which is not what you commonly hear describing a young white woman. Yeah. Especially one that the nation has said she's a hero after 6 months of being kidnapped. Yeah. But when he brought the black, because I watch reaction videos to stand up. Yeah. So I watch people watching Dave Chappelle to see if they see what I see. Yeah. And when they were listening intently, because this is a new generation, and they're thinking of this like, wow, this is incredibly interesting, but funny. And they were sympathizing with the girl. Yeah. Saying, but she's 15, But when he brought the black girl in, they couldn't believe it. And then when he now toppled it with the black boy, they were quiet. Yeah. Because it was the first time they were like, this is facts.
Get the fuck off me. This is my bus stop.
Fuck off me, nigga. This is my bus stop. I know where I'm at. That's how you throw a joke on.
Oh, my goodness.
Again, fuck off, nigga. This is my bus stop.
She got to chew through the ropes.
She was at home watching herself on the TV. News. This is he was think, how am I going to get out of this stink? You were trying to open the door, you go outside, you know your phone number, think, you make moves. That's where the funnies come in. Yeah. But I use those moments, and that's why when we started stand up, even though I knew I was getting love from the crowd, I felt like a fraud. Yeah. Because I knew my material had to be better than this. Yeah. I can't just go and say, like, your name is Lola.
You've been shown something that you appreciated, and so you had a different reference point. For some people, once they got their first laugh, they'd already made it. Okay, it's time to start charging £100. But for some people, it was like you had an aim somewhere you were going. You had a journey. Yeah,
and I felt like the artists.
Like that's where I was as well.
And I felt like the artists I'd listened to influenced me to do more. I was a big fan of Tupac. Yeah, you know, you can't be a fan of Tupac and then my comedy reflects Chingy. No disrespect to Chingy. But you see what I'm saying?
You all need Chingy at some point.
No, I'm just saying no disrespect to Chingy. Yeah. But you can't be, if you're listening to Jay-Z, Kanye, Biggie, real great artists, your music will reflect it. Because he's a great artist. I just don't like him.
Okay.
He's a great artist. I can't say, just because I don't like him doesn't mean he's not a great artist.
I never thought you'd hear you say something positive about Kanye. You wouldn't even listen to the damn podcast.
No, because I don't have to take anything from Kanye. But I know he's a great artist. He's a great, his music is A1 and 1.
That's what it was about, though.
Yeah, but I don't want to hear about it. Ade played the song with him and Jay-Z. You know, the little snippet. Yeah. As soon as Kanye came, crash! I just do that all the time now because it's funny. But what I mean is the people you listen to. Yeah. So even with Eddie Murphy, he was the focal point for funny for me. Okay. So Delirious and Raw was just like, oh, I didn't actually like Raw the first time, but I thought this is amazing. Yeah. But when I started to study comedy, to really delve into it, I understood who I was going to lean towards more. And it was Chris Rock, it was Dave Chappelle, and it was Richard Pryor. That's why I would put Patrice O'Neal in the same category, because his comedy, it bedazzles me.
You know, it was for me at the time. I just had this. I had this innate desire to watch a wide range of stand-up, right? So I would download the UK ones as well, but I also used to watch
Which UK
Nigerian
comics
ones.
touched you though? Pause.
I watched.
I know you like Stuart Lee.
I do. Yes, I do love Stuart Lee. I also watched Lee Evans.
Okay.
I was like,
watched Lee
I
Evans.
was so impressed at this guy's like physicality. I was like, I'm never gonna do this, and I'm never gonna be this kind of comic. But there's something I can learn from him. And I'd watch him do his set, and I'd watch him get changed at halftime and come back out and be just as physical again. And I was like, there's something I can learn from this, and that's all I took from that. But I really enjoyed
It's like
who he was.
Yeah, you know, it's a shame because his audience love it.
Yeah,
You know, and so you you have an audience, like I said, if you have an audience like that,
yeah,
why would you kill yourself? Like he had a joke where he said, you know, he lost his keys, was looking for the house, tearing it up, finally finds the keys, comes to the car, and goes, oh, you know, I found them. She goes, yeah, where were they? She goes, he told her where it is. She goes, yeah, it's always in the last place you look. And he's like,
yeah.
well, obviously, because you don't find your keys, keep fucking looking. But the way he puts the energy, I actually laugh.
Yeah,
But the set was a lot.
yeah.
Then I watched Lenny Henry live.
Yeah.
Again, it looked like a live on the Apollo DVD.
Okay.
You know, Lenny Henry in those big letters live. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So I put it on, and you know, Lenny's good with characters.
Yeah.
He really goes to the characters on stage.
Yeah.
But again, it was just nothing really hit me.
Yeah.
I watched Frankie Boyle a bit.
Okay.
He's
I
dark.
watched You Got Jokes DVD, and I watched Richard Blackwood, Babatunde,
Richard Daniels doing like that.
Slim, and Prince Abdi were on it. I
Okay.
think. And I think for me, Richard Blackwood made me really laugh. But the thing about Babatunde was he made me really laugh as well. And I was like, he is young, black, Nigerian, British. I was like, I can do it. I can really do it. So I remember watching him. But I always used to watch the Nigerian comedians as well. I used to go and find all those beat up clips of Night of 1,000 Laughs.
Yep.
All the basket mouth clips and stuff like that. And what I was slowly starting to put together from all of them was an understanding of who I was, first of all, because of how I related to all of these different jokes. Even though I'd never been to San Francisco, hearing Chappelle talk about San Francisco at the beginning and talk about Tenderloin and talk about, you know, when crossing that bridge to get to Oakland, I was like, this is how you take somebody who's never been where you're from, and bring them into your world. Then I would listen to the Nigerians, and I just see like pure.
Do you know? But I don't think that's what I think. Americans are so assured of themselves.
Yes,
They think you get the references anyway.
True, and I did a lot of research for Def Comedy Jam.
Oh, did you?
Oh, I did. Yeah, when Martin Lawrence was doing I'm cool like that, blah blah blah. I went to go find the song.
Oh,
like
I knew the song.
that's the thing.
Yeah,
so
but
I had to
here's
do
the
loads
thing,
of
though.
research.
The funny thing is, I grew up in Nigeria, innit?
Yeah,
Which we get American culture.
yeah.
So I knew a lot of things they were talking about.
You need Diggable Planets. Yeah, that
I
Diggable
knew.
Planets
I watched their
vinyl.
movies. I watched
Yeah.
everything. So we knew. You know, Bubbles used to fake American accent and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So we already include. But at the same time, you're right. Certain things I couldn't put together, like
Yeah.
Fat burger or something like that. You're like, ooh, what's that? But I knew their references.
Yeah.
But I do believe Americans just think
They assume that. Well, to be honest, they were performing for their people.
Yeah,
right?
they were.
And to be honest, Nigerians do the same. Like Nigerians were doing the same
Bunny
on,
Boys.
on those basketball clips
Yeah.
when he was performing to Nigerians. But what the thing was that what I liked specifically about the way Chappelle would do something is that yes, he would refer to it with a certain expectation that you would know it, but he'd also bring you into the story. So when he says to me, click, like I already get the sense of like there's danger here, blah 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 blah. And yes, of course, if I knew that ahead of time, I might have found it funny. But I didn't even need to go and check. I was like, the fact that he's describing danger to me by the sound of him locking the car. I think that's a beautiful way of bringing somebody into a scenario. Some people would have said, "Oh, but you know how to watch your back when you cross that bridge." You know what I'm saying? Like Chappelle's ability to put you in the scenario, I think, is a big part of it. And so I learned.
It's the fine details, though.
It's exactly. It's learning how to bring you into. If I tell you about a scenario and I bring up something like something you would smell in that situation, it does more than just telling you what happened or whatever. So that's something I learned from Chappelle. But then I'd also listen to the Nigerians, and then I'd also learn something from them. I'd listen to the British ones, learn something from them. And I think putting all that together,
No,
man,
I
is
didn't really take much from the Nigerian comics, you know.
You didn't? Okay, interesting.
I just
I think the Nigerian comedians.
I think there was a style to it.
There's definitely a style
There
to
was a
it.
style to it.
But I think what they used best was rhythm and
Personality?
cadence. Rhythm and cadence.
And personality.
Yeah,
They were
definitely. But,
heavily big on
but
personality.
to be honest, I don't. Apart from Clint the Drunk, I don't see any like varying personalities. They all just have pretty much the same personality.
Ike Kabasi had that, when you see, man, you had the pastor people, you had the, the area boys, Wadi boys type guy.
Yeah,
know,
okay.
and
That was later on. When
Wale
I started watching it,
Wale Gates was doing a show with shades on.
they were all doing shows with
This is me
shades
to
on,
him.
bro.
Why'd you have shades on? Like, how? It's the
Bro.
window to your soul, bro. And you're closing it.
Bro, Deliso Shaponda said he did a gig with Nigerian comics in Nigeria, and he came out with just a suit and an open shirt on, and he said, someone asked him like, "What's going on, man? Why are you not dressed for the stage?" He said, "This is what I'm wearing on stage." And he said the rest of the guys were all wearing their sunglasses, their velvet blazers and whatnot. Said that man called him the accountant for the rest of the show.
It's
bro.
a showmanship for them, innit?
It is. It is.
Package.
I mean, to be honest, I'm not against showmanship. Delirious was in a red leather suit. Let's not forget. Like, it's not Nigerians who invented showmanship or overdid it or whatever. But I think, they covered up a lot of cracks. But I think with the Nigerians, if you listen to the rhythm and the cadence, fantastic. Right? Nigerians are, because, Yoruba is very tonal. A lot of our languages are very tonal. So if you learn how to musically hack somebody's brain with the way that you tell them a joke, again, you can tap into levels of funny that only Nigerians are going to get. So if you listen to the way Nigerians tell jokes, they have rhythm to it. So he get one guy, when you hear that, it's already imprinted in people's minds. That's why so many comedians are the same, because they've figured out, like, everybody responds to this cadence, this beat, this rhythm here. It's fascinating.
But then
anyway,
the only way to stand out, though, is to be different, though.
ideally, I mean, obviously, we need more pioneers. We need more people willing to break that. And you get some people
Because when I did the Nigerian audience,
yeah,
what they appreciated was that I was different.
bro,
Which is fair, because I was always going to be different. I was the only British Nigerian comic on the bill.
go and listen to a comic called SLK, right? He dropped his special on Amazon Prime. Like, he really tried to, do things in a way that he's trying to package it and do something different, right? Now, he's somebody who I think, has taken the time out to write. He's taken the time out to learn how to perform. Pardon?
Was the set good?
Yeah, I love SLK. I find him funny. But he does these like online skits as a character called Boda Wasu, and it's just puns. It's like pun central.
Okay.
So he'll do like something happens. Let's say Wayne Rooney gets caught cheating.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, should Boda Wasu call Wayne Rooney? Then he'll just basically have this conversation, which there's like 1,600 puns in there.
Really?
Yeah, it's fantastic to watch. But even when he does it, he always starts off as this character is like, Omari Custard, you are not a bastard. Look at you, blah blah blah, and he'll go into the bit. And even when I listen to the way in which he conducts the conversation and where the punchlines are and how he does the puns, I was like, this is musical. He's basically singing.
Are they big puns?
That's the best pun, actually. That's actually a really good pun. It's funny enough. I think we just have to end it there, because really and truly, that's actually a really good pun.
How is that a good pun?
Because asking if the puns were big puns is a pun. Using the word pun. Asking about puns.
It's embarrassing.
I mean, it's embarrassing.
Why are puns frowned on?
It's a groanable offense, but at the same time, I think that was really good.
Why are they frowned on, though?
They're frowned on because we know what you've done.
Do you know what? It's when it's good when you say no pun intended. So when
Yeah.
you've done a pun, knowing that they're not going to pick up on it, but
Yeah.
if you say no pun intended, they will pick
Then
up on
they
it.
go back
and then
and
they
they
go,
go,
I missed the
no."
pun. I got that joke with my, you know what different conversation is? Anal. Like, we could talk about racism all night. You can't just slip anal in like that. No pun intended, of course.
Yeah,
no extra.
yeah,
No extra.
yeah.
Oh, before no extra on that for you play. I like to keep it there.
But I like the ones where you don't even say it though. I like the ones where you just let it slide. Where you're like, you can't get AIDS from fags. Like, come on, man.
Is that a pun, though?
Yeah, because fags is clearly.
Oh, yeah, AIDS from fags is cigarette. I didn't know that was a pun.
For those who don't know, Fumbi had a joke about.
Please put it in context, please.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying.
Cancelled.
Fumbi had a joke about how
I don't smoke because
yeah,
my parents.
the parents tried
scared
to
me,
scare him, telling
saying
him that
smoking causes
AIDS.
AIDS, and I said you can't get AIDS from fags. But then I don't say no pun intended, but I do say I'm joking. I have nothing against smokers.
Yeah. So, like, you don't address the fact that you gave a pun right there.
I didn't know I did Dolo.
And that's where we're going to end it. All right, guys. Shout out Fumbi. Where can they find you?
At Fumberton at the blood, and I'm joking. At
Fantastic.
Fumbi. All it knows my handles more than me. Pause.
At Fumbi
I don't know what
Omotaya
my-
on Instagram, at Fumbi on Twitter. I'm at olathecomedian on
It's our birthdays
everything.
next week, you know.
Bro.
And we can't record on Thursday.
Nuts.
I'm doing the comedy store.
Yeah, I got to gig on
And I
Thursday,
thought to myself, what's more important, the boys' quarter or the comedy store? And I was ashamed to say, I'm not even at the point where I can say the boys' quarter is more important. Still Mass's house. Sorry, dog.
Bruh.
Hey, the boys' quarter or the comedy store? Boys' quarter is boys' quarter. Comedy store is front house. I'm going to the front house. So we record on maybe Wednesday. I don't know.
All right, man. We'll figure out the recording schedule.
It'd be nice if we recorded on our birthday, though.
It would be nice.
No, well, it comes out the week after, though, innit? So it doesn't
But yeah, I need to check if my wife has planned something.
Only because I
Some
love the wife, I will not throw shade here.
All right, man. Hey, if you want to show us some birthday love, official boys' quarter day is 5th of
So code
August.
and account number is.
Yeah, 5th of August is boys' quarter day. That's both of our birthdays. And yeah, I'm at Ola the Comedian on everything. That's on Neighborhood.
That's on Crip.
You know, and yeah, stay blessed, guys. Peace.